What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Most Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Vibed out, the usual. It is a Thursday. It's almost time for the weekend, baby. Even though technically every day feels like the weekend, but it's almost to the weekend. So, can't complain. Enjoying the day, though. Beautiful day, man. Beautiful day.
Yeah, rainy day. I like these time of days.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I like the context, man. Like, it makes me appreciate my sunny days the same way my sunny days let me appreciate my rainy days, man. So, like I said, it's all perspective for me, man.
Matt Canada talk is heating up more than ever right now.
Uh-oh.
I even got my buddies, group message texting me about it. People responding to our videos and everything.
Yes. Hey, Deke, you had what, bro?
What? What do you mean?
I'm saying, man. Like, when you be chopping up these socials, bro. When you put them out there, man.
I don't think it has anything to do with us, I'll be honest right now. I think it's just Matt Canada is hot button topic. I would say polarizing, but not really, because I think it's 90% negative. So anyone that does come out with some type of positive slant, like, even though I don't feel like we're saying sign him to a 5-year extension.
Right.
I feel like we're just saying, hey, I think he's earned at least another shot at this.
We said that he was competent down the stretch. All the stuff that was the big reasons for why people wanted him no longer with us. I think they're saying my levels might be a little low. But in terms
you need up?
I think me just a little bit. Yeah. But the thing that I was realizing was this is like when we talk about it was to give him some time. But the thing is, man, when we talk about, like that video, people look at it as if like, oh, man, we love this dude, man. We praise this dude, like, keep him forever. And it's like, no, we're just simply saying in the context of
the second half of the season, he was good.
Absolutely.
The offense was good, flat out good.
And it's like the evaluation, all the stuff that was criticized in the first half of the season was corrected in the second half. So at what point are we saying you're simply looking for change for the sake of change versus it being actually legitimate and warranted? Because if we're complaining about first downs, if we're complaining about turnovers, we're complaining about third down efficiency, which were all things that were complained about numerous times before the bye week, those were all checked. Now, like we talked about in that vid, the thing that has become like the hyper focus is the red zone. So that's why we focused on the red zone in that video as well. And it's like literally, if he is not 100% in that vein, that is the standard that we have essentially evolved to holding him to. But for it to get to that would have to mean that there have been progress. Because we're not hollering about can we sustain drives. We're not hollering about can we pick up first downs. We're not hollering about can we stretch the field. We're not hollering about can we attack the middle of the field. We're not hollering about play action pass. We're not hollering about can we run the ball anymore. We're not even hollering about the jet sweep anymore because he done put it to rest with how successful it is. We don't even holler.
And he's been running it a little bit less.
But either way, it kind of goes hand in hand though, right?
Yeah.
Either way is growth. And then the Derek White, like we always like to joke about, but once again, in terms of the short yardage effectiveness of it, we've seen that play be highly successful in short yardage scenarios. So literally, I've just named off 8 things that were big complaining points for this man. And now if we're literally down to the red zone part, which we all would agree can still get better. That's the part where it's
I've said it a million times, though. That wasn't all on him either. There was a lot of player execution failure there. Right.
But that's the part where we start to say it's like, yo, eventually this is where it shows like, is this a narrative thing or is this legitimate? And there's no way you keep saying it's legitimate, so to speak, when we're naming off all of these things that he's shown over the sample size. But, that's how we roll.
The funniest one to me is, remember in the first half of the season, everyone was complaining that we weren't sustaining drives long enough and the defense was getting tired.
Absolutely.
That was the opposite. It's in a way now that people are complaining that the drives are too long. We need more explosive plays.
The drives too long. I don't want to see 12
need a
play
3-play
drive. I don't want to see 15-play drives anymore. Literally. I'm glad you brought that up.
Which, sure, you could critique like, hey, maybe we could use another explosive play or two.
But I'm glad you brought that up, bro.
We're moving the ball. We're keeping the defense off the field.
No, you're right, bro.
This is still a formula for success. Just because we don't have a Bills type of explosive offense right now in the snap of a finger with the young guys that we have on the offense, doesn't mean it's been bad.
I forgot that was the criticism early on. This defense would be elite if they could sustain drives, but they can't sustain drives because they've had Canada. That's why the defense is out there for too long and they're getting gassed and they're too tired. You're absolutely right. I forgot that one, so I guess I'll add that up there as well. So yeah, I definitely forgot that one. But that has definitely shifted in the second half of the season.
We were just simply
we had
doing
all sustainable drives.
What was working, and that was running the ball and Pickett, nickel and diming them, finding the open receiver, sustaining some of these long drives. That was working.
Yeah.
We don't need the explosive play. Now, again, that's something we could add, but we didn't need it at the time. We're focused on winning games.
It's just kind of like, what are we actually looking for? Do we really want the things that we've just listed off? Because we have seen those things come to fruition.
I want wins.
Right.
That's literally all. I want wins.
Or is it we just want a new name? We want a new something to complain about or something to be excited about just for the sake of. And that's the part where we have to really figure that thing out. I mean, everybody's going to have their opinions on it, but at the end of the day, what is effective and what works? It's that simple.
Will this work long term? I don't know.
Well, we saw it over a 9-game sample size, and it worked 7 times out of those 9 games when it was really clicking the way that it was supposed to, when it was finally settled in, when there was no more uncertainty of what's the identity. Are we a passing team or are we a running team? Is it a Mitch quarterback team or is it a Kenny quarterback team? All of those things that were being debated in the first half of the season, once that finally got settled in and we really got a chance to see everybody lock in and really buy in and get comfortable, we actually saw that this thing can work because it's not speculation anymore. We went over the 9 games and we talked about that being the big change. So we saw that. That's my thing. I'm just like, we don't care about the recent success in this avenue, but if we're talking Coach T, for the naysayers, for him, it's like, yo, we want recent success. We don't care about what you did as a whole. But with Matt Canada, it's like, hey, man, we don't care about what you've just recently done in this success. What you done the first year and the first up until the bye week. What about that one now? It's just like, man, I get the passion. I do. But at the end of the day, man, like the context does matter. And we have seen the growth, which is why we speak on it the way that we do. It's probably not good for the hot takes, but you know how that go.
Because, his body of work isn't that amazing. I'd say 3/4 of his time here is probably more of a failure. Outside of Ben clutching up on these game-winning drives that he did in 2021 and drawing up the plays in the dirt and scrapping Canada's playbook. And the last 9 games of this season, it has been, I'd say, thumbs down for Canada. But you're right. I mean, I think these last 9 have given him at least a shot, and a warranted shot, to go ahead into 2023 if the Steelers decide to go that way. If they don't, fine. I just need to make sure they get a top quality guy. No. I don't want to just replace him with Joe Schmo because we did have success since the bye week. There were a lot of good things that were happening with the offense.
And
if you're guaranteeing me Frank Reich or Kingsbury or Byron Leftwich, sure, I will at least understand that. But just to replace him for the sake of replacing him and not going out there and spending top dollar, it just sounds stupid to me.
No, I agree. I am actually glad that the team didn't agree with your thought process that was all Ben just drawing it up in the dirt. I'm glad that they did agree with that. But other than that, though, man, I think you're spot on, baby. So, we'll see what happens with it, though, man. It's going to be plenty of names, I'm sure, that will continue to become available. But like we've said before, man, we got to see how this thing plays out in terms of what the coach is looking for. Knowing Coach Tomlin, he loves consistency. He doesn't just go for flash. He doesn't just go for a name. And I know that is very different than a lot of other organizations. And we'll see how the fan base responds to that, if they're supportive of that, or if they're going to complain all the way until he drags them to some more success. But either way, my dog got us rolling.
We want to give these shout-outs.
Let's get it going, man. So, let us know where you're tuning in from, man. We start the show off the way that we always do, baby. So, drop it in the chat, man, so we can get those shout-outs. Let's get it. Let's get it.
This is pretty funny. I think he got the... how do I want to say this? I'm just going to read it. Tommy Vincent says, Moats is smoking that Canada pack a little too early. I see you, Moats. I think he's got it flipped. Like, you wouldn't be smoking a Canada pack because A Canada pack would be like Canada's
He's
down
gone.
bad,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
So I
he's
feel like
definitely got
90% of Steeler Nation
Yeah.
will be smoking a Canada pack. Now
Right.
that would be an amazing video. I'm not gonna lie. If I was
They are
really
smoking the
against
Canada pack,
If I
yes.
was so against Canada getting fired, I probably
Yeah.
would make that video.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Someone should do it. That'd be an amazing video.
It would. It definitely would.
Taro Alexander, the 408. San G.
Where's Sanji at?
Not sure.
I was wondering that.
That's where he's tuning in.
Shout out though to the 408 though, man. Let's go.
Raw Dollars, the 330. Youngstown, Ohio. Share line, baby.
Hey.
Thomas Villa, the 602. Phoenix.
He's San Jose. That's what he was saying. I see you, Terrell. All right, so he said in the 4 he came back. San Jose.
Typo.
Here. Yeah. Great season in my opinion is what he also said.
Nobe, 412. North side of the Berg.
Let's
Y'all
go.
already know. 412, baby.
Hey.
In my Moats voice.
What is the Moats voice? I don't even know what that sounds like.
I don't know. Maybe you
Jeez.
should reread it.
I was about to say, how does the Moats voice sound, man? I don't know.
Yeah, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Jacob Malesio, he switched his parentheses next to his username. From,
Oh.
what was it?
He
Deontay
had that,
something?
it was
Deontay
like
sucks?
it was like ex Deontay or ex DJ.
Cut
Then it was
Deontay.
Then he had something else in there. He didn't have a couple of things. What has he updated it to now?
Yo mama's llama.
Yo, mama's lava. Let's go.
Oh, he doesn't have a shout out. He just says Steelers girl didn't know you were way out there. Steelers girl. I don't know where's she tuning in?
She's usually Lansing.
Right?
Yeah, she's Lansing, Michigan usually.
Yeah. NSMC 99 412 The Berg. J Flame 330 Warren, Ohio. Dub City raised. Shout out to James Daniels.
Oh,
WGH grad.
WGA.
Probably high school.
Gotta be. I was like WGA.
'Cause I think he went to Iowa
Yeah.
for college. Jamie Carlo 321 Melbourne, Florida. Saying it again because you guys never catch me. I got you right there.
There we go. And I hit you too, man. 321 Melbourne, Florida. There it is. All right, Jamie, we got you. Double time. All righty. And then I get these last couple that I see pulling up in here. Vegas TJG. He says a perfect 57 in the 702. Vegas, baby, Vegas. Hey, shout out to you over there in Vegas. Then we got E. Frizz, tuning in from the 904, Jacksonville, Florida. The future is lit for the Steelers. I agree. Gun May, the 916, Sack. What's up, boys? And then we got the homie Tommy Vincent, tuning in from the 928, the Mojave Valley in Arizona. Oh, Mr. Jashim. He's tuning in from the 585, Rochester, New York. You know where Rochester is, right? It's actually not far from Buffalo.
Not familiar.
Yeah, it's actually not far from there. The Buffalo Bills, they actually hold their training camp in Rochester. I didn't know if you knew that, but just in case, I was just going to remind you. All right, and then I will end it with my man After High School Show. Tuning in from the 757 Newport News. Shout out to the crib. Feels good. All right. Well, let's tap in, man. Let's tap in.
Justin Lips Watson. Saturday-ish, in quotes. Steve Smith is 100% correct.
Well, all right. Sounds like you agree with them then. Cool.
Nobe 412 has joined the upper room.
Noob 412. Welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. And we definitely appreciate your support too, man.
Richard Arbizo, we gonna find out Deke's band name this year? Question mark. We'll see. Not on my watch. Not on my behalf.
We should figure out, what do we think?
Well, we'll see.
What happens first in 2023? We get Deke's band name,
Or I gotta
Deke
see
pulls
Ambition.
up to Ambition to the con. Absolutely, it's one or the other, bro. That's gonna be. It's early. The future's bright, so we'll see.
There's a possibility for both.
There it is.
Slim. But either or could happen. 828 style. If there's not a Shanahan type OC for hire, O Canada gets to finish out his contract. Period. LOL. The problem with our fans is they are millennials. LOL.
Dang.
I thought we had a more older fan base.
I feel like we used to, and it shifted, bro.
Did it?
I feel like it shifted. Yeah. I'm with you. I feel like early on it was like that, like older. But now I definitely feel like the younger crowd, like our generation, has essentially become like the new fan base now. Like during the Ben years, we were on the come up. We were like, still in school. Whereas like the older people who had lived all the 70s and stuff like that, they were like the OGs now. But now we all out of school. Now we the OGs. Now we in the 30s and stuff like that. The 30s and the 40s and the 50s.
Oh shit! Yeah, I guess when he says millennials, he's not talking about whenever I was in high school and younger. Because now that's Gen Z.
Yeah.
I'm old.
He said I'm old.
Yeah, we're not the youngest generation anymore that people refer to and say, "Oh, these damn millennials."
Yeah.
They don't know what the hell they're doing. They're all on their phones and watching TV.
That's not us.
Now that's what I say to Gen Z, this younger generation.
Hey.
They need to get off social media.
It's crazy how that thing works.
They need to learn to communicate better.
Man, how you always looking on your phone, man? Pick your head up and have a conversation. Can't teach you how to handshake. Yeah, man. That is pretty funny though.
Well, that's it for the Super Chats. All
right. Well, let's tap in, man. First topic that we have. Make sure I have this correct. Man, we got to talk a little team awards, man. We just want to continue on with our recapping of the season, man. Obviously, yesterday on the show, we just kind of really look back on everything, right? Obviously, had TG come on as well, and we all just kind of look back on the season as a whole. What did we view? Positive, negatives, and even Matt Canada, right? In terms of how we thought of his performance. Well, now, figure we'll hit a little positive note, okay? And we are definitely looking for y'all in the super chats, man, or not super chats, but just regular chats, either way, to drop, how you feeling with this thing, man. But we wanted to talk about our team MVPs, right? Or not team MVP. We're gonna have one team MVP, breakout performer, guy from offense and a guy from defense that we're gonna highlight, the most improved player on offense and on defense that we want to highlight. And then from there, our offense player of the year and our defense player of the year for the Steelers. All right. So that's how we're going to do it. Talk through this thing. And trying to think, do I want to start with the big award, the MVP, or do we work our way up like they do at the NFL?
Everyone knows who the MVP is.
Uh-oh. Are we sure? Because I feel like it's controversy.
Where's the controversy?
It's got to be controversy, right? Don't say it yet.
Has someone said anything otherwise of what the favorite is right now?
My question is this. Do we want to start with the MVPs? We'll start MVP and work our way down, or work our way to MVP? How you feeling? How you feel? You want to start MVP and get it out the way?
Oh, the last one's D-Boy. I feel like those are both slam dunks.
I'm just saying, we're going to find out. We're going to find out. How you feeling?
I don't care what we do.
All right. What you doing?
I just feel like those are easy ones.
You feel like they're easy? Well, we're going to find out today. So, with that being said, ladies and gents, we shall start with our offensive player of the year. All right. Let's start with that. Would you like to go first, or you want me to go first?
Wow. Okay, you threw a curveball there. Yeah, you go first.
All right. For me, when I was thinking about offensive player of the year, and this is the topic we're on first, all right, so drop your offensive player of the years in the comment section. But for me, I thought of a couple of names. Kenny, thought of George, GP. Yeah, I thought of GP, obviously. Najee, even the way that he finished this season, right? Still crossing that 1,000-yard mark and really just picking up a lot of steam down the stretch. But for me, for my offense player of the year, man, I did feel like it was Kenny. I thought that when he took over, it wasn't necessarily the smoothest of transitions, but the thing that I really enjoyed about Kenny and why I have him as my offense player of the year is this. We understand the quarterback is the most important part of a team. We understand that it's not easy to play that position either. But to see the success that he was able to have and how the offense clicked, how the team responded when he would be out there, and how when we highlight this offense and how it was a lot more, it was just way better down the stretch than it was in the first half of the season. Kenny was a big part of that. Not saying that he was the only part, but him not turning the ball over anymore like he was doing in the first half of the season was huge. When you talk about his development in terms of just stretching the field more, in terms of just being in more command of the offense, I thought that really stood out the most to me versus when I think of any of the other guys that we could talk about on offense. And multiple guys will have a strong case, in my opinion, but that's also part of the reason why I felt like I was able to put it on Kenny right here in this vein, because all of these guys at some point in time had either a hole in their game or disappeared at some point in time in the season, for whether it was self-inflicted or, coaching wise. But either way, I felt like when you're talking Kenny, when you're talking Pickens, when you're talking Najee, all of these dudes had impacts, but I just feel like Kenny, man, his consistency down the stretch as well, and being at the most important position, that's why I linked towards him and I put him as my offensive player of the year.
Wow. Whenever you mentioned Pickett first, I was like, okay, he was just one of the guys that Moats thought of. He's not going to consider Pickett. I thought you were going to go with a Mason Cole or something.
No. I thought on this hard, bro. Trust me. Yeah.
I'm with you. I mean, I went with Kenny Pickett as well.
What? I thought he was your MVP, bro.
No.
I was like, yo, Deke gonna have his MVP, most breakout performer, most improved, offense player of the year, and because he sustained drive, defense player of the year. I thought you was gonna hit him with that one too, bro.
No. Yeah, Kenny Pickett played really good in my opinion after the bye. Only one interception, and it's so fuzzy. Bro. How many games did he actually play? Because he missed the one 9 games, so 7.5 games, I guess.
Oh, you count the half. All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Not even a half. 7 1/4. One interception. It's
like 2, tops.
And that's all people were complaining about when he first got in. 4 game-winning drives, and I was trying to pull it up on Twitter because I saw it earlier today. I don't know if he's the leader of rookies all time in game-winning drives. There was some stat where he's top of the list. 4 game-winning drives as a rookie. I don't know if it's for a certain amount of weeks or if it's over the last 20 years or 10 years.
I thought it was like a year's thing. Like they hadn't seen that happen with the rookie.
In like the last 20 years.
4 consecutive ones. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, he became a leader. He really did. I felt like he had that whenever he got into that Jets game. You could feel like, all right, he's in command. Like he's confident out there. But then as the season went on, it was more and more his team. And not only you probably just naturally feel comfortable like in the huddle and in the locker room just because you're getting more reps and you're getting more games under your belt. But also just based off the play. You know what I mean? He's earning, and this is what Robert Spillane was saying, not only his work ethic off the field, but he's showing up. The Steelers are winning games. He's taking care of the ball. He's doing all the right things game in and game out. So stats aside, I mean, it's one of those things. You could look at the stats. He ended up with the 51.4 QBR, so that's above average, and that's the whole season. I wonder what his QBR was after Week 10, because maybe it was like up in the 60s or something like that. But then PFF, you know how PFF likes to snub Steelers here and there. They had a stat. You might like this one because it's got 2 guys that you're familiar with. Did you see this one?
I might have heard it. I might have.
Hold on, I'm scrolling up.
I think I have.
This is taking a while.
It's a possibility.
PFF, 2 highest graded quarterbacks
I heard
since Week 12.
Go ahead, say the names, man.
They had Josh Allen at 1.
There it is.
Respect.
Yep.
Kenny Pickett at 2.
I do the Deke. I'm going to tip my cap. I tip my cap to him, man. Come on, bro.
The 2nd highest rated quarterback in the league.
You know I peeped that. Deke, you know I peeped that stat, baby.
Listen, I'm not
opposed to it either.
Yeah, this is maybe one thing PFF got right. But, like, no. I'm not going to lean way too far into PFF because they jack up a lot of things. Yeah. My point, like, them grading Pickett like that goes to show to me and why I say throw the stats out the window with Pickett. It's like he didn't get, like, as many attempts as a dude like Mahomes or Josh Allen to put up all these gaudy yards and stuff that are really easy to see just if you go to season stats, passing leaders, or you go to the fantasy points or whatnot. What Pickett was doing, like, literally, I think, like, every series, and this is kind of how PFF tries to grade it, too. They try to grade it on a play-in and play-out basis. Pickett was good. Like, he was doing right things, and his misses were good misses.
Absolutely.
Where, like, we could live to play another down, or we're just punting for this series. Not egregious turnovers or anything like that.
But the context matters.
And then we're moving the ball. And, we became a little bit more of a running team in the second half, but that's fine. Pickett did his job.
Absolutely.
And he's going to continue to grow as the seasons go on. So, Pickett's my offensive player of the year.
I like it. All right, I'm checking the chat to see how the people had their offensive player of the year. I'm seeing a lot of Najee. Okay, Terrell Alexander had Najee. Sean Burley had Najee. Let's see. Tony Carlson says definitely KP 8. We got Chad Minnie saying Muth. And Country Malik 48 has Muth. Okay.
Would those be the top 4?
Based on the chat,
Muth, Pickett, Najee, or Pickens.
Yeah. Well, I actually haven't even seen a lot of Pickens. I was seeing
Jaylen Warren. All right, we got a guy just trying to throw out a hot take.
No, it's not just Damon, though. Let me see how many people.
No.
All right, let's see.
How could you have Warren over Najee?
Owen 10. Bro, remember at the beginning of the season, people were saying, we need to have Warren get more opportunities. And even though Najee's numbers were better, it was more so like, bro, if Jalen was getting the same opportunities. People thought that Jalen was the guy. TG comes on here.
I mean,
every
I was
week
one
and
of them
hollers
saying
about
it too.
move on from him.
I
Yeah.
was borderline saying it too.
Najee finished the season hot. So we know that's going to really help him out in terms of how people are viewing him now. But we got a chance to see throughout the duration, because we, do this show weekly and stuff. Yeah, that people definitely had a different feeling on Najee early on in the year.
We got another hot take. Derek Watt, NSMC 99.
Oh, y'all wilding now. Wait a minute now. Wait a minute. All right.
Like you can't have Jalen Warren over Pickett though.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
I'm with you, bro. I am with you.
In terms of impact on the offense,
I am with you.
Daniels and Cole, dark horse.
Fair enough. D'Angelo Edwards says GP easy.
Okay, so Damon Brown put a spin on this. He says Jalen Warren because Najee doesn't look like Najee without Warren.
I mean, he ain't look like him with him until the end of it, right?
I think it was just Najee's ankle getting better.
Yeah. Whatever it was, I hope we never see that version again. Second half of the season, that's the Najee we need, and that's the Najee we want.
How TG's calling it, though. He's going to be hurt every year like this.
I mean, you look at the running backs, around the league. I think that's kind of what he's hinting to, like those type of physical bruising type dudes. Yeah, they take shots, man. They definitely take shots. But okay. Now, we got to go ahead and talk about a little depot then. A little defensive player of the year. So go ahead and drop that in the chat too, man. Who y'all feel was the Steelers defensive player of the year? Okay. How you feeling about this one, man?
I don't even think I need to make an argument.
Oh, all right. Let me hear it, man.
It's Minka Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
It's not even close. 6 interceptions. Closing out the game.
I should have said this too. I didn't want to double up awards.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the other concept. My bad. I might have left that one out. That could be on me. Probably is on me. I definitely left that one out.
Okay. Everything else ain't doubled up.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the only. I only have that.
Yeah.
And
I figured that could be that could be potential. I figured that. Yeah. My bad, people. We have a team MVP as well. Okay. We didn't want to double up awards. All right. So if you could in the chat, whoever is your depot, just make sure you got a different
Everyone's
MVP.
saying Minka.
That's why we doing it like that. See? Yeah. Everybody eats over here, baby.
Okay.
Everybody eats.
So
that's what I'm trying to separate it like that.
Wow.
So you want me to go now then while you get it a little...
I'll say TJ Watt.
Okay, go for it. Yeah, that's fine.
Just
Absolutely.
from the off-the-wall angle of we saw his impact when he wasn't there, but then whenever he came back, you saw the stats. We averaged 10 less points per game as a defense giving up. 100 yards less per game as a defense giving up. Sacks it was crazy ridiculous too. I went over the stats yesterday.
It was filthy, bro. It was filthy.
32 sacks when we did have TJ. I think it was only like 7 or 8 when we didn't have him. The picks, it was 16 picks with TJ versus 4 picks without him. So like even when he came back, and this is where you got to give him credit too. Obviously he was banged up and not himself for a good portion of this second half stretch, but he powered through, and he stayed with it, even when the playoff hopes were bleak after that Ravens game.
Yeah, this is also
he came in the press conference. They were asking
true.
him about, like, what do you guys think about the playoffs, or what does this game mean? He's like, I don't care, and he just played the next week. Didn't matter.
It's very true.
His play improved and improved and improved. He started looking more and more like the TJ of old as we got down to the end of the season. Almost like, borderline saying like 80% of good old TJ. 80 to 90% of
him. No, you're right. You're absolutely right, man.
So I'll say TJ Watt.
All right. I'm glad you said TJ. This was the hardest pick for me, actually. Everything else was kind of easy. This one was the hardest for me because when I think of the Defense Player of the Year, I had multiple names that came up. Obviously, I thought Minka because Minka has been dominant. Let's be real. He put together an insane season. Leading the league or tying for the league, leading interceptions. We know the physicality that he played with and just his overall demeanor to the point where the team voted him as the MVP, right? Shout out to those guys. But then I thought about Alex Highsmith and what he did this season. The record breaking in terms of, for him, career highs in sacks. You talk about his impact in terms of tackles for losses and his durability. I thought that was really on display. TJ Watt. You broke down everything about TJ when he's out there versus when he is not out there. That case in its own right screams volumes, right? Because it's right there. Then you got the OG Cam Hayward as well, who, down the stretch really heated up and was able to put together a double-digit sack season and really played with, great physicality and just leadership down the stretch. And he had the iconic moment, man, running out with the 32 flag, man. Shout out to him for that moment, man. We needed that. But for moi, I actually go a very, very different direction. My depoy is Cam Sutton, baby.
Wow.
To me, Cam was number one outside of Minka. And like I said, I didn't want to double up. So you might kind of get a little foreshadowing here. But with Cam, I said,
that's what I was saying. We all know who the team MVP
I was
is.
like, Cam was super consistent, man. When you're talking about on our defense, we asked the dude to play inside corner, outside corner, match up with big time receivers, match up with small, skinny receivers. The dude could tackle whoever we needed him to tackle. He was getting PBUs, he was getting interceptions. And I just thought that it was a time where we didn't know what our secondary was looking like. And he was the constant.
Yeah.
He was the guy that would be like, man, we don't know who's going to be over here opposite of him or how good they're even going to play. But Cam Sutton is our guy. And I think of, with Alex Highsmith, how it did feel like it was still productive, but it didn't hit the same when TJ wasn't out there. And when TJ wasn't out there, TJ wasn't out there. So it was like, he missed a lot of time. Cam, same conversation with him, even as Alex. When TJ wasn't out there, it was times where I felt like, dang, man, I'm not getting the same version of Cam. And that was a part of the criticism for him at times this season, up until the end of the season where he really got hot. But for Cam Sutton, I just felt like he really was a steady, consistent, high-level player for us on this defense throughout the season in every asset that we asked for. And for me, being the football nerd, the geek, some of the stuff that he was even doing to disguise, some of the stuff that he was doing to even trick these quarterbacks to getting interceptions. We talk about that Jets game, and it's like, bro, the stuff that he was doing in that secondary, it was just super duper high level. Like I said, for me, man, I clamor over that type of stuff because I just love the game like that. But to see him doing it the way that he was doing it, man, and the durability as well, man, he was a very healthy player for us. That's why I went with Cam, man. Sutton, not my other dog, Cam Hayward, but both of them my dog, though.
So we are seeing some people give.
No, he said, man, everybody got their thing.
I was gonna say, like, they're intrigued by your call.
Mhm.
They're intrigued. They're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you said that, wow, Steeler girl, wow, okay.
Yeah.
2 cents wanted. Ooh.
Like I
I'm
said,
seeing some Cam Haywards.
Cam
A
is
lot of the
another guy.
Minka from
Yeah.
whenever you first
Right.
said who's your depoy, but then you
I had to clarify
switch up
that
the rules a
caveat
little
because
bit.
I'm like,
Devin
I
Bush?
don't want to double up. You gonna drop a Spillane next?
Well, Brent does say Spillane.
Why
Yes.
y'all? All right, that's
Right after. It's literally D'Angelo Edwards.
Yeah, yo.
Comment above Brent, and then
Yo,
Brent says
wow.
Spillane.
Yo, wow. Ooh, no, 412 brought up Larry Ogunjobi as well. He was another dude that was really consistent for us, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We also got a Terrell Edmonds call out here.
Okay. I can't dig
Von
it.
Brown's got Highsmith. Cam is definitely, this is Tommy Vincent. Cam is definitely depoy. Miles Jack, dark horse.
Yeah, and I thought Miles too, but my problem with him was down the stretch. So the difference is this, right? When we talk Cam Hayward, we love for what he did down the stretch. But early on, it was times where, it wasn't as impactful. Well, with Miles Jack, it's the reverse. The first 10 to 12 games, he was my guy that I was viewing like that. But down the stretch, that's when it kind of shifted for him. So I was like, you know what? Can't really put him all the way in there like that. But, I like it, though. Ooh, okay.
What do we got next?
All right, next up, now we're talking most improved. All right, so drop your most improved defensive player. Let's do it,
Did I really not put a defensive player?
If you got offense, we go offense first.
Oh, you know what I might have done? I didn't know it was offense, defense. I might have just done most improved for the whole team. That's what I might have done. I'll do both, though.
Yeah, let's do both, yeah.
So did you say for defense?
Yeah, let's start. Which one do you have offense first?
I have offense.
All right, we'll start offense then. All right, let's start
Yeah.
offense. All right, most improved player on offense. All right, drop that in the chat, man. We'll roll with that one and keep it moving
Oh,
Most
wait, no. I
Oh, my
specifically
Lord. So you had
I
defensive-
skipped this one because I had a person in mind. I was like, I don't know if I should put this or not.
Let's do it there. All right. Most improved on offense.
Yeah, give me offense first. I
All
need
right,
to
let's
think
talk.
through
Let's
defense
talk.
a little bit more.
All right, so on offense. I'll go first then for this one.
Sure.
For me, when I was thinking most improved on offense, I had a couple of names. I thought about Zach Gentry. I was like, man, this is a dude that has really had to develop and carve out a role, and more so of him in the protection element of it. But I just feel like he's a guy that continues to carve out and just show that he can be a little bit more for us. But then I was thinking about some other guys, and I was like, man, Najee, I was like, he balled out, but to me, I didn't think he was like most improved because I already knew he was nice. Thought about Pat, I'm like, he already was nice. And then it started to hit me. I started to look around a little bit more, Deke. And I went to that offensive line, baby. And my most improved player for the Pittsburgh Steelers is Chuks Okorafor, man. When we re-signed him last offseason, remember, all of us criticized that. We all looked at the numbers and was like, man, is he going to be consistent enough for this price tag? Is he going to be good enough where now we go from competition to now just above reproach, pay him this? Is he going to be able to give us that consistently? And at times it wasn't, but then it did. And then I felt like he became one of our best offensive linemen this season. When you would just watch how, number one, him in pass protection, like I said, it wasn't always beautiful, but it was good. And it was really good down the stretch, I thought, at times. Now, granted, it was still some stuff that he has to work on. And that's the part when you see him most improved, they got to keep improving. But to me, man, I thought that Chuks really showed up a lot more in the run game as well. Some of the physicality and just the like chippiness that I would see from him later in the season, I thought was really good. And it really helped out Kenny, man, in terms of just keeping him clean. Because we know what those pass rushers that they deal with in terms of the tackles and stuff like that. But to me, Chuks, he really elevated his game to just being a more consistent, just down in and down out player. And for me, man, I had to give him the salute for that.
Players only?
It's whoever you want. No, it can be coaches as well. Absolutely.
People bringing up Matt Canada.
Absolutely, man. And that's it's your list.
Nah, I was thinking players only.
It's your list. Yeah.
So you know what? What's funny is I do have Chuks on my list too, in parentheses. He's my honorable mention.
Okay.
I do have Muth though, and I'm with you. I was hesitant to make the call on him because you're right. We already knew this dude was really good. But I feel like this was the season where, even though I still wanted more, I think we all wanted more.
I feel like he left something out there.
I don't know if that's all on him or
I don't think it's all on him.
Was it just the dysfunction of the offense?
I think early on, we were trying to figure out our identity. That's a part of it.
He was banged up a little bit too. Yeah. But I feel like this is the season where he did establish himself as a top 6 or 7 tight end in the league. And last year, we couldn't say that. We had him at around, probably 15-ish?
I look at it kind of like this, though. Like, tell me if I'm off on this. Do you look at Freiermuth last year the way that we look at Pickens this year? Like, even though you haven't proved technically numbers-wise that you're this franchise guy, we all kind of feel like, yo, you're a franchise receiver. Like, when I look at Muth last year, he didn't have the numbers, per se, to back up being
he had 7 touchdowns,
but like
507 touchdowns.
But like in the sense of like when we say, hey man, this is a top 3 tight end or a top 5 tight end, I'm sure it would have been a lot more debatable back then. Even though we could look at it and say, hey man, nah, we feel like it's already showing that type of stuff. That's why I was kind of like with my thought. I'm like, yo, I felt like he was nice like that, So I don't think you're off with it. Yeah.
No, trust me. Yeah. I'm with you because I did think he was that good. I wish we would have got him the ball more in Ben's final season.
Seriously, man.
But here's what I will say with Muth. Like, I think there's something to be said from going to a Hall of Fame quarterback in Big Ben.
Yeah.
You got your production there, but what's it going to look like when the quarterback situation is a little bit more uncertain?
Yeah.
With a Mitch Trubisky, with a Kenny Pickett. And he still bumped up those statistics. I mean, not touchdowns, but is that his fault? We talk about touchdowns. Right. It's kind of fluky at times. But he had 732 yards receiving, whereas last year he had 497, so basically 500. And his yards per catch was higher because it was basically the same amount of receptions, 60 last year to 63. Yeah. So 11.6 yards per reception this year versus 8.3 last year. Feel like he was in, as I mentioned, that top 6 or 7 range in terms of tight ends across the league.
Yeah.
So that's all I'll give it to him. But I think you're right with Chuks. I mean, he was a question mark throughout the first 3 years of his career, and we gave him this contract. And he was a steady force on the right side. And right tackle is a big deal. You want to talk about left tackle, right tackle. Those are probably the 2 most important positions on the offensive line. And he was good. He was a stabilizing force. So that's why I had him as an honorable mention. But I still liked what Pat was doing.
No doubt. All right, let's see what the chat said in terms of their most improved on offense. I'm seeing some Mason Cole. I'm seeing some Dan Moores, some Chugs. We got Juicebox32 went move. NSMC99 move. Okay. D'Angelo Mason, Derek Watt. His touchdown percentage did go up this year. I don't know if y'all know that. He touched paint a lot.
Derek Watt's not a terrible call.
He's not.
Because we actually used him.
Not.
He actually did good things.
He produced. Absolutely. Richard Arbizo, Chooks earned that money. Cosmo FI says Cole. Jermaine, Chooks most improved. Bobby Johnson, Deontay Dropson, most improved.
No.
That's how I know,
No.
man. I feel like he's right where we thought. This is like,
Yeah.
he's right there. It's not like terrible. It's not great. It's just he's right where I thought he was going to be. Yeah.
I made the case that he had one of his best game of his career at some point. Which game was that? I don't remember what game it was.
It wasn't Baltimore, was it?
It might have been. I don't remember what game it was. I was like, this was the best game of his career, even though he didn't have a touchdown.
Correct.
No, it was the Panthers game.
Okay,
yeah, the Panthers game, he went off.
He
couldn't.
Yeah, when he had the penalty for
They
flexible
couldn't
homie.
cover him,
Yeah.
and then I can't remember if over the last 2 weeks I even stretched it further and said that this season is more impactful for Deontay compared to his other ones.
Yeah.
Because he didn't have a Ben. But even if that's the case, I don't see that as improved necessarily. Correct. It's just more he is who he is, and he helped out a young quarterback. And
I think we
did
can
some
say
good things.
that in context of like appreciation for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, to like acknowledge what he
That's a
did
good way to
and
put
the
it.
numbers and everything like that. Yeah. Okay.
Presley Harvin?
Oh, that's actually, I like that call. I didn't even think of that one. Okay.
The special teams most improved.
Okay. I was scared to tap in there. I didn't know you might have
Well,
dropped
you don't
in.
have disappointments in any of these categories.
See, here you go, bro. Here you go. You doing too much.
Gunner would have been on that list
Hey,
too.
so-
Although, can we have people that weren't on the team last year?
That's actually a good call. I didn't think heavily on it one way or the other because I was kind of like, when I thought of like rookies, I'm like, man, could I throw Kenny Pickett as improved because what we saw first half of the season versus second half of the season? But then I was just like, man, I know how I view rookies. I view it as like one full body of work versus let me just have this hard stance to say, yo, this is who he was. So that's why I can't say he like improved. I just think he was just showing us who he was in the process. Like we didn't really know. But I like it though. Here's a name. Richard Hunt said most improved Steven Sims.
That's what I mean. It's
Because
tough.
he carved out a role, but
What the hell was he doing last year? Yeah, I guess you could technically say he wasn't doing anything last
Technically,
year.
yeah.
So just to be doing something on an NFL team is big improvement. Because not only on the special team side,
offense.
luckily his muffs didn't go to the other team, but and he was
the
making
fundamentals were good though.
he
bro.
was making some returns. He was making some good returns,
what
but
did we
also
say,
on
though?
offense.
We said if your fundamentals are good, you could muff it, and your odds of getting it back are high. And that was the issue with Deontay. Deontay was muffing, but his technique was bad, so that ball was going all over the place, man. So at least he was fundamentally sound. Yeah.
He was making some sick catches on offense. The Ravens one across the middle was nice.
Didn't he have something versus No, he wasn't the Panthers. I thought he had a play. It might have been the Raiders game.
There's probably another one we're forgetting, another one or two.
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking of like when he
Because
when he flex on him. You know,
once we traded Claypool, he actually started getting some targets.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't anything crazy, but made a catch or two here or there to pick up a third down. That's at least what I remember. But the Ravens one was the one that sticks out the most.
Nah, facts. I like it.
Yeah, some jet sweeps too.
Yeah. Like I said, man, he definitely was a producer. He definitely was a contributor at times, man. So I can respect that. Excuse me on that one. But yeah, man, I'm seeing the Presley Harvest though. Shout out to the homie Presley, man. All right. Most improved on defense. Now, once again, I had a ton of names because I was over here like most improved. Alex Highsmith. That man went from single digits to, 14 and a half? I think he ended with for the season, right? Make sure I had 14 and a half, you know? So I was like, man, impressive. I thought about Devin Bush. I said Devin was a guy that was heavily under fire last year, man. Heavily. And it got to the point where he was really producing, man. Obviously thought about Robert Spillane. He's another guy where it was like, man, this dude has really carved out a role for himself. And even Cam Sutton, you know, it was multiple guys I was thinking.
You couldn't double it up though.
I couldn't double it up. So then I was like, what about Edmonds? Thought about him. But the name that I settled on, and I'm completely confident in, my most improved defensive player, it's Robert Spillane, bro. To me, it had to be Robert Spillane. Couple of reasons. first off, when he came to this team, no one even expected him to actually be on the team and like have a role like this, especially when you're talking defense. Part of his opportunity came from Devin Bush getting hurt. Then from there, we know the Derrick Henry play and then the storybook with the pick 6 against Lamar. He had that like crazy run, right? But nobody anticipated him really sticking around, especially on defense after that season. It was more so Devin Bush is going to come back and everything is going to be fine. That was the narrative. Then we saw how everything played out in his second year. And Spillane really got another opportunity to start to expand. And then you got to this season here where, you know, this was supposed to be that year where, man, we're going to see Devin, we're going to see Miles Jack, and that's what it's going to be. And it turned out to be what? Robert Spillane still very much having this crazy role, and not just having a role, but being a super productive player for us. We talk about what he does in the run game, and it's to the point now that I don't even feel like we got to talk about it because of how good he's become, or how, you know, defined that has been a part of his game in terms of him just getting tackles for loss or him just being stout against the run. But then it evolved. It was like, man, now you're seeing this dude out here as our main cover linebacker. When it's third downs, they taking everybody else off the field but Spillane. And it showed in his consistency in that vein, man. And I thought that he was another one of those guys that really just stepped up and was kind of like an unsung hero. I look at him and Edmonds in the same vein in terms of like them doing a lot of stuff that doesn't always get recognized. The Levi Wallace interception in this last game. I got a film session about to drop on that. Got actually a ton of film sessions for it to be coming soon. But on that Levi Wallace pick, it's a great pick by Levi, but the person who makes the play, Spillane. He's in the window sinking super far back, a place where he probably wasn't even supposed to be, which is like, I'm thinking to myself, like, why Watson even threw it?
He's got those Troy elements.
Yeah, it was like, I'm looking at Watson like, why would you throw this? And I'm like, because he knows this is cover 3, and Spillane, technically his drop supposed to be 10 to 12, but because Spillane doesn't have any work, he understands that I'm not chasing the cheese that's in front of me. Let me sink and get depth, and that's what ultimately makes that throw be stupid high and sail, and then from there, Levi just follows his guy in and makes the play. But it's plays like that that don't get talked about, that don't get spotlight, that don't get a highlight or a replay. We just focus on Levi, the interceptor. And it's like, dude, this the guy right here that's making plays for you even when you don't realize he's making plays. So that's why for me, man, I had to go with young Robert Spillane as my most improved cat on defense.
Yeah, the two I was thinking about was Devin Bush and Spillane. The case for Bush is it was rock bottom last year, so
yeah,
the margin between him going from last year to now, even though I feel like Spillane played better than Bush, might be a bigger jump than what Spillane did last year to what Spillane did this year. Although what I will say, like, it goes back to everything you're saying. Spillane, at the end of each season, has been an afterthought. After the season where he broke out in 2020, because he got banged up, that was the unfortunate thing. And then he came back in the Browns game, looked terrible. And you're right, Devin Bush is coming back. And then last year,
your boy Cassius.
Yeah,
that was that game.
It was a disaster.
That was the Cassius
disaster of a game. We couldn't stop the run.
Oh.
And then last year, I can't even remember. Well, just the defense was terrible as a whole. We were playing Devin Bush a lot.
It was Bush and Schobert.
No matter, Bush and Schobert. No matter who was in at linebacker, we didn't feel good about anyone in the room because we gave up literally the highest amount of rush yards for a defense in the league. We were 32nd in the league. And then, we pick up Miles Jack. Okay, we give Devin Bush another chance here. Yeah. Spillane, he's just that third guy. And Stan Clair brings up a good point because he says not this year's preseason, but last year's preseason, everyone was kicking Spillane to the curb, including Deke and Moats, because he was struggling in some of those preseason games.
But what was the context? And we said this.
But even last year, like, were we talking about Spillane like that?
But we also said this prior to each of those games, and I want y'all to remember this. We said, man, preseason is not a good situation for Robert Spillane, and the reason the context was in the preseason, Spillane's best asset is not his athletic ability, it's his preparation. It's him knowing who he's matched up against, so he can study film on them, know their strengths and weaknesses, know what routes they want to do. Preseason, you don't get any of that. It's essentially like playing pickup basketball, except we all are elite athletes, and it's like, hey, good luck. You might get a guy that runs 4.7 and is a big thumper. Great night for you. You might get a guy that runs 4.2 and is elusive as heck. Good luck. That's the preseason. So that was a big reason why when we would talk about Spillane, we would say, hey, man, it's a possibility that he might not look good. This was why. But at the same time, we also understood that the context being that. So even though we criticized him, it still wasn't to that extent. I get what you're saying, though, but it wasn't to that extent.
Maybe in 2020, though.
Yeah, 2020, yes.
Not
Yeah.
this last season. I just feel like in terms of the linebacker room, we thought he was just going to be the steady third guy for us.
Yeah.
We didn't have any high expectations. Because even though I was talking about Devin Bush and being rock bottom last year and just not being good, again, I don't think we were feeling that great about Spillane either.
Nah.
And now, after the end of this season, last 4 games, he played 100% of the snaps. And going back to what you said, he was very productive. Averaged 9 tackles a game. And he was a big part of the Ravens and Cleveland game stopping the run because that's what he's big in. The only bad play that really sticks out to me with Spillane this year, I don't know if there was maybe one earlier, but just the Panthers one.
Yeah.
But it depends on your expectations.
That's how I look at it as well, man.
The Chuba Hubbard play where he goes out and, Sam Darnold has some extra time. He's able to dump it off, and Hubbard gets, 30, 40 yards on a pass play. That was it. No, but I think Spillane now has us thinking, wait, could he be our starter going forward between him or Mark Robinson?
Pairing with something, yeah.
I got him on most improved too.
All right. Let's see what the good folk of the chat say about they most improved. Now, NSMC99 says Alex Highsmith hands down. Okay. Richard Arbizo, Sutton, Highsmith, or Devin Bush. Thomas Villa went with Cam Sutton. Damon Brown said KZ. Okay. Bless you.
Thank you.
Okay. Nick East, Highsmith, Gnome, KZ, Damon Brown. Also threw in a Mark Robinson. William Kugler, Spillane, hands down. Ooh.
Steelers girl, Spillane train.
There it is. Thomas Villa went with 41. Spillane. All right.
No, before 1-2 says Spillane still makes me mad in the pass game, but he's solid.
Yeah, okay. Steve Brooks. I'm assuming he's talking about Spillane. I think he's talking about Spillane. He said Mikey. I feel he's talking about Spillane though, because I saw him putting it. I think it's he was putting that when we had him on too. When we're interviewing him. I don't know what the correlation is, but either way, salute. Let's see.
Liao.
Yeah, well, depending on how you view the rookie. Yeah. Like I said, I tell you kind of like my thought process with it, but that's just my thought process.
Yeah, he played good when he was out there.
He
He played out
definitely
there. He played pretty good when he was out there overall.
Yeah.
He had some flashes even early in the season.
And I thought that he got just more fundamentally sound down the stretch. One of the things that I had criticized him for early on was just when they were playing him at multiple positions on that D-line, I thought at times it was a little bit much for him mentally. And he would be lacking in some of the detail, some of the gap responsibilities, which would hurt us run game wise. But down the stretch, he was just a lot more buttoned up in terms of his gap responsibilities. His technique was a lot better. He didn't play as high either, which was also something that, when you're watching young players, especially in the trenches, they typically will play high at times, man, because they're, it's never really as important when you're at the collegiate level. But at this level, you have to be a technician. Like every time it has to be the same. But I thought DeMarvin was just a lot more consistent with his pad level down the stretch as well, man. So I like that. Absolutely.
Jermaine, James Pierre, dark horse.
Ooh,
it's a great call.
He definitely stepped up. He definitely had.
That's a great call.
What was the game? Bucks. The Bucks game. Remember that where everybody we
had
have
that crazy
anybody
ass
out
pick in
there?
the Colts game.
Yeah. Heck yeah. Shout out to him, man. Absolutely, because he was definitely a guy that came under fire a year ago. After all, winning the job out of camp, being the starter, then losing the job, and then being able to come back down the stretch when he had a couple opportunities to come and give you some productivity. So, yeah, man.
He can be our Ross Spillane of the secondary going forward, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Consistent player, man. Knows what he's supposed to do. Absolutely. Trustworthy. All righty.
Yeah, as long as you're not matching him up single coverage on Jamar Chase right before halftime, I think it's
I think we're good.
It's a good thing to have Pierre in the lineup.
Unless you're doing it in the condensed super tight red zone. Not from 35, 40 yards out where it could actually, be a little bit of a foot race. We don't need that. All righty. So let's get it. It's time for the breakout performer All right. So who was your breakout performer for the Pittsburgh Steelers on offense, baby? Talk about it. Talk about it. I think this is an easy one, too.
Pickens. Broke out. I don't even need to check the stats. The amount of insane catches he was making.
We got one,
throughout
Deke.
the
We
season.
back, Deke.
That just literally is the definition of breakout to me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
How he was cooking these corners. How Pickett could just throw it up to him. Yeah, this is going to be a catch. The body control on the sidelines, we even saw it in this Browns game, but we've seen it throughout the season. It's just insane how he can work with so little space between himself, the sideline, and the cornerback. Catch the ball, get 2 feet in bounds, and make it look effortless. Then combined with, he had the crazy catch against the Browns, probably. That's probably a catch of the year between that and the Jefferson catch against the Bills. Game-winning catch against the Raiders, Christmas Eve, Franco, 50th anniversary, all that. Nice catch against Cleveland Browns for a touchdown. He was great. I forgot about this one.
Talk about it.
How many touchdowns do you have this year? 3 or 4? I just went through all his touchdowns.
Pull them up.
But the other one's the Dolphins, where Pickett throws that fade ball back corner of the end zone. Same thing.
Yeah, 4. He ended with 4.
Pickens high points it. Beautiful catch, toe tap. It's just things. I don't know if I want to say we shouldn't be seeing from a rookie, but there's rookie receivers that come in and showcase this type of talent.
Yeah.
And they end up being amazing receivers, long-term Hall of Fame type dudes. Think when Jamar Chase came in.
I'm with
Justin
you, bro.
Jefferson
You know
came
I'm
in,
with you, baby.
jumped off the screen like a Calvin Johnson. That's who I think we have in Pickens right now. So it's literally the only thing I can think of whenever you said breakout performer on offense. Now, since we're not doubling up or anything, I guess you could talk about Pickett because some of those performances down the stretch and clutch moments definitely broke out. But I think it works. You give offensive player of the year to Pickett, and then you give breakout performer to Pickens.
Well, I just wanted to give you a heads up. I don't want to catch you off guard. I did slip the poll in, all right, while you were talking, because I thought this was a unanimous and simple, like, we both going to say GP and go on about our business. But then the chat was not so unanimous. So I felt like it was appropriate to slip a little bit of that poll in there. I didn't want to put too much in, so we gonna let it ride for a little bit. But I do like what you said about GP, man. For me, had multiple guys that I thought of, like talked about KP8. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not doubling up. And KP8 was my OPOY, Office Player of the Year. But then I went down that list in terms of breakout performers. And I was like, man, who was that guy for me? And I thought about a Jaylen Warren because of undrafted guy. And the fact that, like I said, we really didn't know what to expect from him when he was going to get these opportunities. But for the first half of the season, he was our best running back. Let's not, sugarcoat it. He was the guy. He was the guy that we saw the most productivity out of, the most consistency from. And that was why the conversation surrounding Najee even started in the first place, because of what he was showing. And then obviously that continued and his role even expanded and his productivity kept going as well. I mean, he's a guy that we're extremely excited about, to the point that we don't even holler about, hey, Deke, who gonna be our RB2 now? We don't even holler about that. Remember, that was like a legit storyline. Who was our backup running back, man? Who are we rolling with? We got the answer now. Jaylen Warren, he's proven that. 17-game sample size. He showed what he's capable of. So I definitely thought about him. And then obviously Connor Hayward, man, because of what he was able to do just in this offense, man, showing that he could be a receiver, showing that he could block, showing that he could run the ball if he needed to. Like, just the diversity with that. But I'm with you, Deke. To me, this was a no-brainer. To me, this was a hands down, like, do I even got to talk about him? GP, are you with me? All right? That's how I feel about George Pickens, man. He is the guy. We look at Deontay. Deontay is wide receiver 1 type guy. When I look at George Pickens, that's franchise receiver type guy. And when we talk about the difference, is a distinct difference between wide receiver 1 and a franchise wide receiver. No different when we talk about QB1 versus a franchise quarterback.
Yeah.
It's differences. It's big differences. Tannehill, Kirk Cousins, QB1s. Franchise quarterbacks, Rodgers, Brady, Ben, Breeze. See the difference? Big difference, right? I think we all could agree about that, right? It's pretty simple. When I look at George Pickens, I think of him in the same vein as, like, you talk about a Jamar Chase, a Justin Jefferson, a Stephon Diggs, those type of guys, Devontae Adams, those type of guys. He has that same type of talent. He has that same type of just confidence in his hands and in his ability. Oh, and he has elite 1% of the 1% type ability as well to make him truly an outlier. To me, I think that this dude has, the ability to be one of the best dudes to play this game. All he got to do is stay healthy, stay humble, and, get these opportunities where they're supposed to go. And I felt like they started to come a little bit more down the stretch. The further along Kenny continues to grow and get confident in this system and in himself and his own abilities, the more we're going to get productivity from GP. I also would say the longer we keep Canada, we'll start to see GP in more than just the simple keep him on the outside and send him vertical, because down the stretch, what we started to do was put him in the slots, and we would see some of the productivity coming from there, not because he's not capable of winning out there. Remember, we talked about this. We said it's just an easier throw for your rookie quarterback. Instead of asking Kenny to be perfect on a 40-yard pass with the defender in his back hip, nah. This is a way, way, way easier throw when you put GP in the slot versus whatever corner you want to put over there. Lord help him if you put a safety on him. That's just an easier throw and catch for him to make. And we would see that as well. And I think that's something that we will get a lot more of going forward as long as they keep the thing together. Now, if they switch it up, new coordinator, we'll see what that guy brings in and stuff like that. But to me, I just feel like we weren't even scratching the surface with how good this guy can truly be. And it's been proven time and time again this season, regardless of who you threw out there at corner. And you know how I feel, Deke. I don't crown it before the season. I wait until I see it. And then you got to keep showing me. But then once the sample size is large enough, I'm with you on that. And to me, the sample size is there. I mean, we talked about him in OTAs. We talked about him in training camp. We talked about him in the preseason. He's checked off every single thing that we could say, man. So to me, yeah, he's the guy.
The whole putting Pickens in the slot thing, was that a Canada thing, or was that Pickett telling Canada to do it?
Well, this is the thing. The same way.
You know I'm messing.
Oh, I know, but I have to just address it because, some people out there are really serious. They do think like that. That's the reason why I laugh anytime people would bring up, hey, man, the offense only does better last year when Seven was calling the calls.
Well,
it's like,
I mean, that happened.
You see what I'm saying?
I mean, that's how good Seven was.
That's why I just laugh. Whatever narrative people want, that's how they'll put it out there. I know chain of command. That's all I'm saying. Typically, chain of command is the coordinators making any of those decisions over a rookie. But everybody has their, we all just kind of speculating with that concept because we aren't in there right now. I'm here with you. So, yes. So, you could be right, man. Absolutely.
No, I'm joking. Now, I do think Ben drew up the plays in the dirt.
How do you
No,
he was like, no, I'm joking about
I'm joking
that.
about
but
the
I
Pickett
do
one.
feel like this, though. This is true.
Joking about the Pickett one. I feel like Canada did put Pickens in the slot. Could have been a group effort by everyone. Maybe Pickett, Pickens, and Canada all came together.
That's what it
is. But
is.
no, Ben, yeah.
It was definitely Ben, though.
Fourth quarter.
Ben,
Fourth quarter, he's banging on his helmet to shut off the mic. Called his own plays and said, "Shut up, Canada. I got this."
Man, who's wiring this
like
up?
That
man? You can just knock it on. It's just...
Yeah. You slam the helmet on the bench. You do something to mess up the signal.
Oh, my gosh. I like it. I like it.
Defense?
All right.
Breakout on defense, right?
That's what we did the breakout on defense, didn't we? That's what we did?
No.
Oh, good call. I'm tripping. We did not. I was looking at something else. Yeah. So, breakout on defense. Drop your breakout performer on defense. And you want to go first on this one? Because did I go first last time?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, go ahead and knock it out there.
There's only one answer left.
Uh-oh.
Because he was eligible for the other ones.
He was.
For DPOY and also most improved. But I feel like breakout fits his type of performance the best, and that's kind of why I'm going to be giving him the slot.
I know you talking about hype the crowd up. The celebration? Something like that, right?
I don't know.
I don't know. Something like that.
Is it?
I don't know.
He needs to get something better.
I would agree. It's something like that, though.
That's not something memorable at all.
It is not. It took me like multiple times watching.
At least Bud had the grave digger.
Yeah, I like the.
And TJ would do it with him. That would be cool.
They would like all the way 20 yards down the field. It's dope.
He needs to work on something new.
Yeah,
he can't do CPR anymore.
Oh God.
Well, no, did you see this?
It was
they canceled the celebration in Madden too. They're taking it out of the game. Apparently, it was in Madden.
I get it. But bro, that celebration is hard.
The CPR one.
Let's be real, it's hard, bro.
You can't do it anymore.
I know, but it's
No
hard.
one can.
Remember, they started doing it in basketball. It was basketball they were doing it first. Basketball they hit you with the oh man, that was such a dope celly. Oh, hi.
His own one was. What's he doing?
I thought
He drawing a picture, a
I don't
frame.
know, bro. It's
Like,
not a
frame
frame.
it?
It's not a frame. It's definitely like here, and he points down. So I don't know, because at first I thought he was doing what Hargrave do. Hargrave make a little thing and he kick in the dough. I'm like, all right, cool. So I was thinking he was doing that, but then I'm like, maybe it's a cross. But I'm like, it's nothing up top. It's just I don't know the celebration. Next time we talk to him, we'll ask him what the celebration is, because I really don't know what the celebration is.
But yeah, it's Alex Highsmith.
Yeah.
Last year goes from 6 sacks to 14.5. Mm-hmm. Should have been a Pro Bowler.
I'd agree.
Remains to be seen what TJ Watt decides to do.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I will say? I don't want to make it seem he did make a big jump from last year to this year, but I actually do think he had a really great sophomore season too.
We would both agree. Yeah.
It just didn't show up as much in the stats, particularly with sacks, because he still had 15 tackles for loss and 74 total tackles. 15 QB hits
is a lot. Double-digit QB hits. Yeah, you're cooking, bruh.
Because my point is, he has less tackles for loss this season, 12.
Mm-hmm.
He has only 5 more QB hits, and he has less overall tackles this year. Last year he had 74. This year he had 63. Yep. So last year, I think he was deserving of around 9 or 10. He was so close on some of them.
Yep.
But yeah, to get a solid 14.5.
And I was with him dealing with Melvin Ingram being a little disgruntled.
True.
Yeah, that was also going on. Yeah.
Yeah, so to get a solid 14.5, there's no doubt about that. You were one of the top edge rushers in the league this year, and hopefully you get rewarded to it and you can play in some of these Pro Bowl games and play dodgeball and all that stuff. Yeah. And then next time I go on your Pro Football Reference, it'll say Pro Bowl.
And then we feel like
it's all on TJ. It's all on TJ, though.
It'll feel better, man. But yeah, I'm with you, man. This is a no-brainer to me, man. Alex Highsmith is my breakout performer on defense. He balled out last year. But what was the thing that, I definitely was the one hollering about it over here? It's a double-digit sack guy. He's a 10-plus sack guy, man. We could identify that just in what he had been putting on tape and even some of his near misses. But I really thought that he put it all together this year. And he started out great off the first game. The way that he was able to put up those numbers to start the season off, really kick it off where instead of him chasing the sack lead, he was, a sack leader for a while this season, man, up until the second half of the year. But I just think that, man, he really just showed what he is capable of with and without TJ. When TJ wasn't out there, he still was productive, but we obviously saw that he is more of the super high-end 2 than maybe a super high-end 1, like how we look at TJ. If TJ would have 14.5, you know what I mean? Like how we would look at those guys differently. But to me, man, I think that he is one of those guys that you definitely want to keep here for a while, man, because that productivity is only going to continue to increase. He is just going to continue to get more confident in who he is. And just when you play this game, if you can get that confidence and really sustain it, and you get in a situation where you have a group that you're building with, like him and TJ, that's the type of stuff where you're like, man, we could get 2-3 years together of really just cooking. And that could be special for us, man. When you talk about James Harrison and Lamar Woodley and what those guys are doing, you think Bud and TJ
Highsmith
for a
is going to
while.
extend his career a little bit better than Woodley, though, if I had to bet.
I would agree. And shout out to Wood. We ain't got no issues with Woodley. But
Woodley had 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. Sometimes the success gets you, okay? Sometimes you get the success, and sometimes the success gets you. It is what it is. All right? It happens. It happens. All right? But, yeah, I'm with you. Alex does not give me that type of vibe. Yeah. Obviously, he's a dude that, we got a relationship with, man. We just feel like, yeah, he's going to be one of those guys, man, that just works harder to prove, even more so what he can be, because he's also going to be one of those guys. I feel like as long as TJ is here, he's going to forever be in his shadow. He's going to forever have to prove his worth. He's going to forever have to prove that he is not just a byproduct of 90, even though we already know that. I just think that that's something that he's going to continue to show, and that's the thing that makes me super excited about him. But, yeah, hands down, he was my breakout performer on defense.
Let's not forget the 5 forced fumbles, too.
Oh, good call.
Led the league.
Led the league, right? Yeah. Good call.
So not only the 14.5 sacks, but
Yeah,
getting the ball out of the quarterback's hands.
Definitely good call. All righty.
That was the shit Bud Dupree was doing his last season or two.
That was the difference.
With us before he went to the Titans.
Yep.
Like, that's why we were, in a way, devastated by losing him. Because
the turnovers.
he was getting there. He was getting to the quarterback. He had double-digit sacks and stuff. But, yeah, he was getting to the strip sacks, too, in critical moments, like in late fourth quarters. Didn't the one he, like, strip sack and then he picked it up?
Yeah. Yeah. Filthy. All right. And the poll, I'm about to take it out, but they had GP at 59%.
I can't believe it's not 100.
Warren at 36%. And then Hayward finished up at 4%. I was a little bit surprised. I thought GP would have a lot higher rating for the breakout performer, but you're right, man. People are definitely fans of Jaylen Warren as well, man.
Warren's the trendy pick. He's like the hipster pick, the underrated pick.
Okay, you say Warren, it's like, oh, I respect you. I respect you. You hip.
But the real answer is GP. Come on, dude. It's like Juju. Didn't he win the team MVP award?
Yeah. That's the AB. That's the whole fallout.
I mean, first it should have been Ben. He's been getting snubbed on team MVPs year in and year out. But anyway, between the receivers, though, yes, you would obviously take AB over Juju. But AB, it's expected, and GP has just been so good this year, and we crowned him before the season even started that anything he was doing this year, it's like, that's who GP is. Yeah. Whereas Warren, undrafted guy.
Got it out the mud, man. Got it out the mud.
Was running a little bit better than Najee early on, so he was...
That's what John Doe says, too.
He's a little bit more of a surprise factor with Warren,
John Doe said Warren gets love because he's undrafted. Leonard Gillum says Jaylen Warren gets love from me, baby. Okay.
Yeah, Damon Brown, GP, the real pick, though.
Okay. John Doe says Warren could have got it if they fed him more. He was a hot name for a while here, man. I feel like he's still kind of floating around, but Najee really stepped it up. And I think that it doesn't minimize Warren. I just don't think that it has like as much push behind it right now because what Najee was able to do down the stretch.
If you want more reaction, if you want more applause or whatever, tip of the cap, I guess go with Warren. But if you just want to be right, go with Pickens.
That boy said that's the hipster pick, bro. And that's definitely the vibe. They say, "Oh, okay, I can respect that." Oh, you know a little something. You watching ball if you're gonna say Jaylen Warren.
Connor Hayward's just straight underground shit. Like you're listening to.
You say it was underground, yo.
Experimental movies and you're on one. You're on Bart Basquiato's vibe.
They're like, who's your favorite artist? Oh, this dude from SoundCloud over here. Like, yo, do we got an album? Nah, but his mixtape playlist fire. It's like, bro, y'all got to chill, man. Just wait a little bit. Not hating on anybody, but y'all catch my drift.
4% one.
That's funny, bro. He say, yo, that's underground right there. Alrighty. Well, it is time for the team MVP. And ladies and gents, there could only be one team MVP. You notice all the other positions we did offense and defense because I'm a big believer that, you don't want all the offensive guys to get all the love. But at the same time, we don't want to just give every award to every defender that balled out this season either. So we had to split it up. But now, it's time for the team MVP. So, in the chat, drop down who you guys think was the team MVP. We already know who the Steelers thought where the team MVP was. They went with Minka Fitzpatrick. So, I guess... You want me to go first or you want to go first?
You go first.
All right.
I think I already revealed mine, kind of.
I guess I did too, kind of.
I think everyone did.
It's Minka Fitzpatrick. I'm rolling with Minka Fitzpatrick for multiple reasons. The consistency, the big plays, the demeanor, the turnovers, whenever we needed splash, whenever we needed a guy, whenever we had some adversity and had to overcome it, he was the guy. And I also felt that he also had some adversity this season. That Eagles game, we saw what happened. A.J. Brown down the middle, that was on Mink. He understood that. But what happened after that? My man came back and was just a better player, even from that stance.
He had nothing for them in the game.
Yeah,
but
nothing for them in the game.
Next game, he was good.
That's what I said. You saw what happened after that. As in, like, bye week, next game, we're good.
Oh no, he couldn't even play in the Saints game after the bye. Because of the whole what was it? Appendicitis.
That's what it was. Yeah, but he came back a week after that.
Yeah.
He lost an appendix.
He wanted to play and then get it removed after.
Yes. He took his it came back and still balled out. Remember, we were questioning like, yo, is this even safe? We all had that. Is this even safe? And my mans went out there and was like, yo, I don't care if it's safe. I ball. When he did that, I said, Lord have mercy. All right, there's nothing else we can say about this man. And then he went ahead and tied the league in interceptions this season at a position that isn't even known for leading the league or tying for the league lead in interceptions. He plays safety, not corner. You associate corners with getting picks, not safeties. But that's what this man did. And Deke, I'm old enough to remember when we would criticize him for not always wanting to be a willing participant in the tackling game.
He's dropping the shoulder now.
Now he booms on people. He's a boomer. I'm like, bro, I like it. Makes that do. So to me, man, I thought that he was a team MVP. I thought that, obviously I had other guys that I considered. Kenny was one of them. But the thing that held me from putting it on, from saying Kenny was the fact that first half of the season, he wasn't the quarterback. And then the middle part of that first half of the season, he was struggling.
If he would have delivered the game-winning drive against the Dolphins.
I mean, we'll see.
That's what I'm saying. If he would have done that, combined with the two at the end.
It could have changed a lot, man. Absolutely.
And we make the playoffs.
Yeah. That would have definitely changed a ton, man. Yeah.
Because that one was on Sunday Night Football.
It was.
He needed that. He needed that. But obviously
that wasn't on him, though.
Because that didn't affect him.
No, but what else did we have in that game?
He ended up just getting better and
better.
What else did we
have in that game? Wasn't that the interceptions game? We were dropping them?
Yeah.
That was also going
And the final pick, I think the only pick that was really on Pickett, because the first one with Claypool fell over himself.
No, it was the end zone, like the red zone where he was just being aggressive.
And third down.
Yeah.
But the other one was the last one to Deontay where it was the miscommunication.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he's talking about in the corner.
Yeah, it was like 2 minutes late. He probably could have just ran it, got the yards, but he was going for the touchdown.
Yeah, I mean we talking.
And like Deontay, they just weren't on the same page.
Yeah, I'm thinking about. I think Eagles game is what I'm thinking of. End of the game.
That was the Frymouth.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. You're right.
It got tipped or something.
One was definitely in the corner. Yeah,
I think there was only one pick, but this goes back to remember everyone was ripping on Pickett early on about the interceptions. It's like it really ain't that bad.
But that's what we would talk about context, and we would say if you're a hot take or a narrative-driven person, you don't care about context because context doesn't fit those narratives. Context doesn't fit a hot take, but the hot take is the hot take for what it is. It's like, yo, we're going to say something outlandish that a lot of people are just going to gravitate to, even if it's not factual or if it is not necessarily accurate. But that's what we say, man. If you're looking for that, that's different than what we do over here, man. We believe in the context, and that's why we weren't bashing him when people were like, yo, is Kenny a bust? Should we switch back to Mitch? Remember, that was a conversation we had to talk about because of that. And it's like, nah, not at all, man.
If anything, we appreciated his aggressiveness.
Yeah,
you gotta hone
because
it in
it was very different at that time than what we had been seeing from Mitch at that time. We didn't get the aggressive Mitch that we saw in the second half of the season.
No.
At the beginning, it was ultra conservative, and that was something that we needed. So Kenny even gave us that. But yeah, to me, man, like I say, it had to be Mink.
I agree with you 100%.
Mink,
Mink Fitzpatrick. Yeah, I got this theory, or I got this idea, half-baked idea, but actually it's an amazing idea. But I think we should implement.
Can we be fully baked? I don't like being half-baked. I'm like all the way baked or not baked.
It's just an amazing idea. It doesn't matter if you're baked, sober, whatever. Mm-hmm. I think it's something we need to do. You know how in baseball, they have closer walkout songs? Like for the Mets, they have the dude Diaz. He walks out with the trumpet, obviously. Mariano Rivera, Enter Sandman.
Yeah.
I feel like with Minkah Fitzpatrick, Steelers are up in a game. There's like 2 minutes left, and the defense has to go out on the field. Yeah. We need a song for Minkah Fitzpatrick.
His own renegade.
He needs a closeout song because that's what he was doing this year. He's closing out the game with these interceptions. I don't know what song it should be. I don't know if anyone has good suggestions.
I don't know. It's got to be something tough, though.
I feel like he's that good.
Yeah.
He's going to close out the game for us.
I would say, he is definitely giving us that vibe, bro. He gives us that vibe.
Maybe we could just use the trumpet song. We could just steal that because everyone knows what that means right now.
Yeah.
Because of the Mets and everything with them using it. That's like
the
modern-day closeout song.
Could we go into the Sandman, though? I know collegiately that's tech.
I feel like the trumpet song, we just should do it.
Just take over?
Yeah,
and it's the Mets. They the little brother. They don't count.
What I mean is, and I think it's been so popularized right now. Whenever you hear those trumpets going off, brr, 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 like everyone thinks about.
You just know what time it is. Yeah.
He's walking out to close the game. Yeah, we should just steal that next year, week 1.
Hey, Minkah has definitely earned it. If we're gonna do it,
People are saying Chief Keef.
Ooh. Now GP said he listened to Chief Keef for his pregame.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, Minka can't listen to Chief Keef. I feel like that'll get him fined. Because, you can't hit a certain way on defense, man. Chief Keef will have him ready to, like, headhunt somebody.
Maybe Minka could pick it.
Good. Give him some time.
Yeah, we got to think about this in the offseason. We got time right now.
Yeah, we got time.
So we can get creative. We got like 7
Thomas
months
Villa
here.
said DMX. Throw a little of that Dark Man X on him. Ooh. Noam says Super Gremlin. Huh.
Hey, but we got to like feature him, right?
Yeah.
We got to somehow like get the players around him and have him walk out onto the field.
Hey, do it like how you saw the Chiefs. They did the little ring around the Rosie and then played the play. We need to do something where it's like, all right, Minka's about to come on the field. Get ready. And everybody start jumping up and down. Man,
oh, here's what it is. Here's what it's got to be.
Yeah.
Almost like basketball intros. Like he's just got to be sitting on the bench. And then the
like,
camera pans to him. And then you got the lines of players.
Do a little. Oh, gotta have a little handshake.
That's what it is.
Okay.
We need it.
That might could work right there. That low key could work.
I mean, that would be cocky as hell. That would be,
bro.
That would be up there with the Chiefs in terms of just disrespect.
Most disrespectful, the Chiefs doing the ring around the Rosie plate, or the Georgia football players eating chicken wings during the game.
The Chiefs.
Because it's me, the chicken wings. I'm like, bro, the chicken wings are foul.
The Chiefs, you're doing it on the field. At least the game's actually wrapped up. It's the last game of the season, national championship.
But it's like the middle of the game. It ain't even like the end of the game. We're talking about the middle of the game. They're eating chicken
They're
wings.
not going back out on the field, right? Those were starters.
I don't know. They had full on equipment. Like, they were still in uniform. Like, fully. Taped hands. Like, they were eating wings with gloves on, bro. Like, that's what I'm trying to explain. Like, dude had gloves on eating chicken wings. That doesn't look like a guy that's like, bon appetit, I'm chilling, let me take the gloves off. He's like, I'm going to eat this chicken wing, and I'm going to go over here and rush the pass out. This 3 technique. That's what it was looking like.
I feel like with the Georgia one, it's like there's not much you could do.
Yeah.
They accomplished their task. They're up 50 points.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, they can eat on the sideline.
They weren't
Like, it ain't
right.
that deep. It's almost like when the Eagles with Kelsey had the Batman mask. All right, they beat us by 20. Like,
Yeah.
what can you say? You can't do anything about that. The
Yeah.
Chiefs did it, literally. They incorporated it into their play.
But at least it was a play, though.
Oh, my God.
And they scored on the play. So it's like, you really hate on the play that scored one? Part of that was the deception of the play.
You're saying the ring around the Rosie was
because
the play.
it gets you to be like, what's going on here? Now I'm pissed. Or is this funny? Oh, ball snap, touchdown. What the heck
It
just
actually
happened?
worked, right?
Because everybody did that. As soon as they went around, Earlers did the same thing. What is going on? And then it was like, Mahomes in the backfield. What is this? The ball over here. They throw it back over here. Touchdown. What? Like, I feel like that part of it.
They ain't doing that in any Super Bowl and playoff game, though.
Whoa. They were doing it in the postseason last year, weren't they?
They did
When they were doing
like that.
They were doing all the underhand throws and
That,
stuff.
but dude, they're not circling around before they do the play.
True, but nobody was throwing underhand throws like that either until they started doing that. Him and Kelsey, he'd be over here.
I think that actually worked though. That actually helped them.
But they've done it multiple times where it's like egregious. Like, you don't throw underhand in the NFL. You're 7 Hall of Fame. How many underhand throws he throw?
Probably a couple, but out of necessity.
Exactly. You can't even remember off the top of your head, right? Well, we could distinctly remember Mahomes doing this on numerous occasions. It's like, bro, what we doing? They clowning out there, man.
You think?
I think he's clowning.
I thought it helped them complete the pass.
No, I think he's just having fun with it, and that's why they.
It was so short of a pass.
And that's why
like,
they
that
laugh
was the
about it
easiest
every
way to do
single
it.
time. It's like, yeah, you got an underhand one too, man. Oh, the no look pass as well. Shout out to Damon. I forgot about those. He got a lot of them on his mixtape too. It was to the point that we was trying to like pull up 7 no looks just to show off that Mahomes ain't the only one that could do no looks. Remember that?
Yeah, Ben was before Mahomes and Allen, but
Mm-hmm.
he just never got that type of respect amongst the national media, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then the one time when they did try to show it, they was hating on him. Yeah.
Ben,
Nah, I'm messing with you, bro. It's all good. I just want to see you get defensive.
what?
You turned away and said, hey,
Nah,
Good.
I'm just which one? Which throw?
I don't remember. All good.
Well, that's it for our list then, huh?
It is.
Super chats.
Ooh, Mama said knock you out for the walkout song. Break your neck.
Any song would probably work as long as you feature
It's gotta be
Minka on
aggressive.
the scoreboard and get the players all around him,
Does
rowdy
the
and
screen
shit.
go black like we do for Renegade when it's for Minka?
Yeah,
Dang. He's arrived.
yeah,
He's arrived.
yeah. You got to do something like that.
Now I just need to ask, like, we doing it for Minka. We do got an actual defensive player of the year. You catch my drift?
The reason I talk about Minka
I'm about to
is
say,
he's
we
literally closing these games out with
got
interceptions.
90. Could we have said that about him last year? 90? Technically, he was doing that last year. The Seahawks game.
Yeah, but that Seahawks one wasn't the final drive of the fourth quarter.
It was in overtime, right? Yeah. No. Was the
That
Bears?
was in overtime.
Yeah.
Bears.
Bears was another one that was like that. Weird. Yeah.
Potentially the Browns game. Didn't he get like 4 sacks in the Browns game?
Oh, yeah.
Against Baker?
Yeah.
One of them might have been on the final drive. I can't remember. But Minka literally calling game with the interception. I feel like that just hits different, though, too.
He does.
Am I wrong?
You're
hits
not
different.
wrong, but I feel
You're
like
calling game.
I feel like you're trying to make me choose between peak Troy and peak Debo. Like, you catch my drift? Like, I feel like both are elite, but I'm like, dang. 39 versus 90.
TJ could take the D4s. Because he's always going to be a top 3 favorite going
forward, yeah.
Year in and year
going
out.
forward.
So give Minka the closeout song.
Okay. Well, all right then. We
And
have.
I don't think either or is going to be mad about it. They're not going to pull an AB and rip on the other, right?
I mean, you don't know.
Forgetting
Jordan,
recognition.
TJ Jordan meeting last time he got snubbed. He went ahead and won Defense Player of the Year. Remember that?
Yeah, these guys are teammates. They seem like some good guys.
That's how it all starts. You know, it's a lot of origin story. You know the AB villain story, how it started? They were teammates too, man. Hey, he was here.
Who?
Talking about your boy AB, man.
You talking about? You think Juju was the villain story?
I don't know, man. He could have been a part of the
Or you think it started earlier?
It could, I don't know.
Martavis?
He said multiple names on the way out. That's all I'm saying. Multiple. With multiple numbers. You know? So you just never know.
You talking about Ben?
He threw him in there too. He's a part of it, but I don't know if it's just him. It's a lot of I said it's a lot of names he threw in there. But either way, he was a teammate prior to it. Whoever he was, having some type of issue with, because he's named multiple people. That's what we said. He definitely named multiple people. All right, he definitely did. Shout out. I was about to say shout out to AB. No shout out to AB. We're not shouting that out. All right.
You want to hit these super chats?
Let's tap in, man. Let's tap in. Alrighty, all right.
All right, we got a few that came in here.
Yeah. Oh, and hit that like button too. I don't think I said that today. Yeah, hit the like button one time.
Oh,
for the
wait, no, I do need to say this.
Here it is.
Hold on, I'm scrolling up here.
You made me nervous. You start scrolling it in. Boy, oh, Lord.
Tommy Vincent says, damn, these chats are going too fast. Deke, gotta catch my Claypool vote. Claypool for MVP? The dark horse.
I can't stand this. Oh, I like the. I can make an argument for it as well, and I know the argument, but y'all stop,
it's an easy
man.
argument.
Oh, y'all stop this, man.
We started winning when we traded him.
Winning now and winning in the draft, man. This is a win across the board, man. Stop it, man. Stop it, man.
Yeah, there's a case to be made.
It's a strong case to be made.
Because Claypool is the reason. Well, it's tough because the absence of Claypool is the reason we started winning. But Claypool is what got us the Bears' first round pick.
He had to sacrifice his tenure here for us to grow. He said, in order for Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett to run, I must walk away. I must give you guys this opportunity. So that's what he did. He said, you know what? Call me what you want. I'm going to carry it over here. I'm going to go to Chicago and, everything happens for a reason. Yeah, that's where we're with it right now, man.
Legit, he'd probably be, if we had to make legitimate list for MVP, he might be like 4th or 5th on my list.
I was going to say top 3, bro. Like,
I'd probably put TJ. I'd probably put Pickett or TJ 2, 3.
Okay.
Then I don't.
Cause
I don't know if I could leave like a Najee or like someone that actually did stuff for our team.
But let's talk about it.
He
produced in the first half. Like, granted, he wasn't crazy productive, but he was still giving us some
the
productivity.
Bucs game, that was
absolutely.
big.
He gave us productivity, so we don't lose sight of that. But then from there, the thing, I look at it like this: his trade, it just simplified our offense. I thought it simplified it for Canada and it simplified it for both of the quarterbacks. Instead of them feeling like we want to be a pass first, we're going to throw it 40 times a game because we had 3 wide receivers, remember?
3 really good receivers.
Yeah, it was Claypool, Deontay, and George Pickens. And that didn't even count Pat. So it seemed like at the time we had an identity crisis, and that's what we talked about them first 5 to 6 games. Are we a physical run the ball team, or are we a team that wants to air it out? Because it was very different in terms of how we would play each of these games to varying levels of success. But once that trade did happen, that did start us becoming more of this physical run first, play action pass, boots and stuff like that. And I thought that it really just helped our offense grow, even though it was I guess look at it like addition by subtraction, in the sense of we lose that legit third weapon that would have had our offense, like we talked about with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and the Tyler Boyd. We lose that opportunity, so to speak, in the short term. But long term, in terms of what it was able to open up for us, we got a chance to really see George Pickens grow. We got a chance to see, hey, man, that Steven Sims, he's a guy, or Connor Hayward's a guy that could give you productivity from the slot. Granted, it may not be to the level of Claypool, but the 2 things that they did was catch it consistently, and they ain't fall down a lot afterwards. So, shout out to that. But then I also would think of, just in the sense of with Matt Canada, how he didn't, to me, it just didn't seem like he was trying to do things to make all of these mouths be happy. In terms of those 3 receivers, I thought that it made it a lot easier for him to now, instead of calling that extra 10 throw or 10 pass plays because you're trying to divvy up these targets, now we were getting more run plays. Now those are getting divided up between a Najee and a Jalen Warren. And I just think that really helped our offense out. And we talked about the direct reflection of it. What was it? We talked about Kenny's attempts. It was a clear difference pre-trade versus post-trade in terms of just on average how many attempts that he was getting a game. Prior to that, man, it was 35s, 40s. Heck, it was one time it was in the 50s. Remember that? And then to the point where it was like 20s. High end would be 31, 32 throws. And that was perfect for what we needed from Kenny in terms of his development, in terms of his impact, which was also on the homie Chase Claypool. So I get why y'all MVP in that, man. I do. I'm telling you, I do. And then we talking the draft for even the tank crowd. It's like, yo, he even hit y'all over there. He was like, yo, you got 17, but without 32 though. I bet you had a 32 with that same team. What's happening? Like, that's what he gave us. Like, Still Nation was all about to go give that man a hug. Like, you know what I mean? But it is what it is, man.
I feel like it balanced out the team a little bit too.
It did. Emotionally, because like we know he had a different way of how he would carry himself. It was different. You look
there was the report by who was it? Was it Josina Anderson?
Right.
We didn't know. There was hearsay and stuff, but
it's different.
If that was true, I feel like it made 100% sense.
Yeah.
And it felt like, I mean, it's hard. Okay. It's hard to say definitively because it's just the bird's eye view. It just felt like we were more buttoned up in the second half.
It did.
Now we got a Marcus Allen, but maybe that's the theory. You can only have like one knucklehead on the roster. But that's cool. You need it in a way.
Marcus Allen isn't a knucklehead. He is a guy that likes to celebrate and express himself. Okay. You know what I'm saying? He's a good guy. He's a good kid, man.
But like you need him. Like
yes,
you need one. But like Claypool was maybe too much in that mix. So that's why it balanced out the team.
I am with you. I am with you. Yes.
Because Marcus Allen, he's like the special team guy. He gets the place rowdy up in the locker room. It doesn't
hurt you on special teams. It doesn't hurt you there.
He's like the perfect guy for it. He's like the enforcer in hockey.
Right.
Like
it's
the
the
dude
perfect
that's
scene,
just
bro.
there to fight and get things crazy when you're about to hurt the star player.
Marcus is gonna go out there and turn it up for the city. That's what he is on, and I love his energy.
Yeah,
y'all know that I love his energy, man. But that's what he brings. But on offense, that's a little. It's a little different. It's a little different. That's funny.
Because I was gonna say like, oh yeah, we got any distractions completely out the locker room trading Claypool. But we didn't because of what happened with Marcus Allen and everything. But I was like, you know what? I think we need a guy like Marcus Allen. I think it works.
Yeah. Well, and I would say this. You look at Claypool and how he was. You look at Juju and how he was. You look at Marcus Allen. And then I even think Deontay, right? Because to an extent, people even try to make a case for him being a distraction with the social media stuff. But either way, all I would say is I do feel like we're just getting further away from the super expressive personalities like that and getting more back to like that buttoned up. I mean, we call it Steelers football. I don't want to just like simplify it as that, because I do feel like Juju definitely represented Steelers football. He was just a young player, you know what I mean? Just a young person. And I think that gets lost at times when we're talking Juju versus like a Claypool, so to speak. But I just think that now when you talk about a guy like George Pickens, like his temperament, Deontay Johnson's temperament is very different than the Claypool temperament. You know what I mean? I just think that they're a little bit more just.
It's like you can still have personality, but
right.
It's business first.
It's business first.
Business and winning
right.
first.
Football is first, brand second. Whereas I do feel like at times it wasn't always as defined for those type of dudes. You know what I mean? Beforehand. Whereas I think with the guys right now, GP and Deontay, like they're football first guys. And I think that shows consistently.
Like get pissed when they drop a ball,
like
or like the ball
guys.
doesn't go their way just because they want to win.
Yeah. Whereas when we would look at the non quote unquote football first guys, it seems a little different. So I could definitely, like I said, understand it. Like I said, it's not a shot at any of these dudes, man, because they said all of them brought something to the table, but just in the sense of the specific mentality or the approach. That is something that I feel like we currently have with this group of receivers right now.
Simple way to put it. Hashtag no TikTok squad. The TikTok era is done. That's from Some Swag Gaming.
Stop, bro. Wow. Oh, man.
But Marcus Allen's still around, so it's not completely gone, but he's like the one guy. He's like, it works with him.
Y'all have literally called it the TikTok era. Like, gosh.
Yeah, because Ebron's gone. Yeah.
Oh, I forget. He
was kind of in it. He's like that old dad trying to be a part of it.
Hey, talk about chill. What you trying to say, bro? What you mean
Just
by
saying,
that?
He was a little older.
What you mean by old dad trying to stay a part of it?
He's a little older compared to Juju or
Easy,
Claypool.
big fella. All right, easy over there, man. That is funny. Whew, all right.
It works with Marcus Allen for whatever reason. I think it's cool with him.
Because he plays defense. I mean, because he plays special things. I think if he was on defense and doing that after every play, or doing that, when we don't feel like it was warranted, because that was also the issue with Claypool at times. You would ask yourself, is it warranted? Is the productivity worth what you're, putting out there? Whether it's what you say on a show or what you put out there on social media. Browns is the Browns. I don't see I did anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like that type of stuff. It's just
They're
like
about to get clapped.
You know
anyway.
what I'm saying? Like, is that type of stuff where it's just like, man. Not saying that it's all the way bad, but at times you gotta read the room, man, and read your fan base. And Steeler Nation, we weren't ready for that type of stuff at that moment, man. We weren't.
Okay, Justin. Oh wait, hold on. I already read these ones. Crap. Hold on. Let me get back. I think I had a double screenshot.
Hold on now.
On the chat.
Let me get it together. There it is.
I got that one too. I think that was 828 style talking about millennials.
Yeah. Because that's when we realized we're technically millennials.
He's got a next one, and he says offensive player of the year, center / right side of the O line all year long. So he just wants to give it to the O line as a unit in a way.
See, now that's selfish. If you was talking about a skill position, you wouldn't
say all the
wide
receivers. Yeah.
So why you would say all the offensive line? See, why y'all be doing the offensive linemen like that, man? Get them dudes they just do, man. Pick one of them, call their name out. Nah, but it's all love though. The right side of the offensive line, man, center on over, was definitely the most consistent part of that unit, and yeah, that was the side that we invested the most money in. Also, Mason Cole, James Daniels, and Chooks. None of those three are on rookie deals. All of them dudes were getting paid. And I thought that it reflected in their productivity. Whereas when you look at Dotson, you look at Dan Moore, one guy is, in his second year or just finished his second year? The other guy is just finishing his third year. Still very young player, still trying to figure it out. In the sense of Dotson, is he a guy that is going to always need competition, or is he a guy that is a consistent contributor that you are going to be able to, just depend on and say that, hey, man, we're never going to have anything wrong with him? We don't know that just yet, but that's what he's trying to continue to show that he can do. Dan Moore, last year it was, hey, you overachieved as a fourth rounder coming in here and playing as well as you did, starting all these games at left tackle. This year was a little bit more expectations, and we kind of had varying degrees of how we would view his season specifically. But I still feel like even with him, man, like he put himself in position to at least he's going to be able to compete. And I think that that's all you can ask for. We'll see what level of competition that is, but I think that he's at least earned that right, which is a big time nod for him, considering what it could have been, Yeah. Yeah. So I like it. But stop hitting him with the group, Individualize them dudes, man. Give them a little love. Yeah.
We have a special guest in the chat today.
Uh-oh.
Matt Canada.
Wait a minute now.
Paid $9.99 to have his comment read.
Shout out to Matt. Man, hey, Steelers offensive coordinator Matt Canada too, man. Let's see he's telling us something different. Please give him his just due with his title, Deke. Yes. So
says,
Steelers offensive coordinator Matt Canada is in the chat today. You know the audio only people gonna be thinking like, bro, is they for real? Like he's really there?
We don't know. We actually don't know. He might have a YouTube account with his NFL profile pic as his YouTube profile pic. I don't know. He might. This might be him. Deke and Moats, appreciate you educating all these fake fans on the results I've been putting on the field. To my haters, ain't going to say too much, but stay tuned. See you next season. Hashtag Jet Sweep.
And hashtag Derek Watt one time, man. Don't forget the Derek Watt. I like that, though. Shout out to you, Matt Canada, Steelers offensive coordinator. We appreciate you taking some time to tap in the show with us like that. You know, hit that like button too for that comment, man. Because Matt, he got a lot on his plate right now, and the fact that he took some time to come in here and drop that little knowledge for us, man, we appreciate it, man. Salute you, Matt. Yeah, Mr. Jet Sweep King.
I wonder how long he's been watching.
I think he's been a fan, bro. Because think about it, when we would talk about different things, we would see those concepts show up on Sunday. That's all I'm saying.
Well, he wasn't listening back in 2021, though.
Well, he might have had a disgruntled employee in 2021. You can only work with what you can work with, man. But your guy could pull the plug, remember, and finish the game. So there you go. All right, there you go. That's the compromise right there. That's like right in the middle. We good.
I just feel like we were giving him good suggestions on how to deal with his scenario with Ben.
I would agree.
Give Ben the playbook and stop calling the plays.
See,
that was my idea. Maybe he should have done that more often.
Maybe the employee didn't like that concept though. Maybe the employee was like,
"What do you mean? The employee?
Maybe
Ben
the
obviously would have
was
loved
like,
to say,
let's
"Screw
work
Canada's
together."
plays."
Well,
no.
Maybe he was like, let's work together here. I
think.
need you, you need me. Ben didn't talk a lot on his podcast. Has he said anything specifically about the play calling and who was responsible last year?
No, he has not said anything like that.
No one's asked that just yet? How's that?
Nothing.
How has that not come up? I've seen.
We got the reports from Batch and Dulac. That's enough for
Matt. I've seen Ben on King. I didn't see Ben on Najee. Ben ain't talked about that one just yet. Oh,
maybe someone will ask him. Maybe I do have to go to that live event so I can ask him.
Saying. Somebody needs to ask that man. Y'all ask us all the questions. That's the guy to give you that answer. Can't nobody give you that answer except him. See, Batch, he was on our show. He talked about it. He couldn't even give us the answer definitively. But we do know one person.
I don't think we had Batch on last year.
We didn't.
I think it was the year before, right?
I had him on the radio.
Oh,
yeah, on the radio. That's what I was saying. I was saying he talked about that as well, but it was still very similar. But still, just the whole thing, because I think the conversation stemmed around like why doesn't Ben not even like audible and stuff like call stuff at the line of scrimmage, stemming around that type of stuff. But to me, you know, 7 is the guy that can answer that. Matt Canada doesn't do media availability throughout the offseason.
Okay, someone just needs to ask him at the middle of the season. Just 2021.
You know what I'm saying?
When Big Ben was your quarterback. What was going on with the plays?
Either ask Canada at the next press
Canada
conference.
He ain't gonna say it how it is, I don't think.
I don't think so. But 7 could.
Ben will, yeah.
7 could.
He'll give you that real answer.
So I'm just waiting to hear what 7 has to say to end all the speculation. When 7 feels like he's ready to really tell us who was calling those plays his last year, he'll tell us.
Dude, you'd really like his response because I even dug deeper into it. Whenever he was asked about Matt Canada, he was like, "Yeah, I think Matt did good. Whatever, team finished 7-2." And then he brought up himself with Finkner. He was like, "People were complaining we were passing too much with Finkner, but we were putting up, 26, 30 points, whatever." Yeah. Now all of a sudden they got Finkner out of there, and they're saying we're running it too much.
So he's kind of like supporting it, huh?
No, that's what I mean. He said it. He was like, I think Matt did great. Like
that's what I'm saying. Because like I remember when we talked about it yesterday on the show. We never went into like his comments. It was just you said like, yo, he said he
my
did
point
good.
is, I think you would like that perspective of just people calling for it one way, and then you do get it one way, and now you want it the other way again.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
You spend some facts, man.
It makes sense, man. From the book of 7, absolutely.
828 style. Depoy is Minka, without a doubt. This was probably before we established the new rules.
Yes.
Richard Hunt, Fake Media Most Disrespected Player Award. Deontay Johnson.
Okay, how you feel?
Wait,
about
this is a great award.
How you feel about the fake media disrespecting him, man?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny is up there. I say Kenny, Canada, and Deontay. Those three together. Kenny definitely. But DJ, they call him Deontay Dropson. That's like the name they be having. Like, people will freak out if the ball is in his vicinity and it just looked like it was near his hand. We all do the same thing. All right, I guess that was a drop. I would get a benefit of that. Wasn't that bad though. Like, I feel like
I think some of the disrespect is deserved for Deontay.
I don't
because
feel
of the drops.
See,
it does go too far though. It does go too far.
This is my issue. When you say the Kenny disrespect, I saw all of the other side of it prior to it turning to disrespect for that little bit of time for me to really feel like it's Kenny. Because, bro, Kenny had the love affair from the time we drafted that man up until what game was when we put him in, that Jets game? Like, it was just like, you know me. It was a lot. It was just a lot.
I think there was really highs.
It was a lot, bro.
But there were a ton of lows for Pickett in terms of fan reaction.
But the highs, bro.
It was sick. Yeah, it
was
cool.
Highs. Now, you said sick, and you said cool. It was like, it was cool, and then it was like, bro, this is a lot. This is a lot.
It just was what it was.
It wasn't what it was. It
was next up.
It was not what it was. It was not what it was.
It was not what
it was. It was not what it was.
We're excited.
It was a lot. It was a lot. So I just don't feel like he was disrespected to that level like that because they love this man, bro.
Yeah,
we have never seen a standing ovation in the fourth quarter of a preseason game.
Yeah, but think about that Eagles game, and then to the bye. I mean, people are calling for Bryce Young
in that time frame.
We draft a quarterback, tank, get this dude out of here.
You said some of it was deserved for Deontay. He's throwing the ball. It's an interception. Regardless of who we put all the blame on, he's in the conversation because he's throwing the ball.
So no, here's my thing with that. Yeah. Sure, I don't think he was above reproach on his first however many games. But to go to the whole, this guy ain't the franchise anymore, it's time to move on, we need a tank, we got to draft a new quarterback for next year. That's where people took it. That's where my problem was.
How many times?
Dude was in his like fourth or fifth start.
Yeah.
And that's where they went with it. But the people that watched the game, you could see, oh, wait, this Pickett is pretty good.
Bro.
You heard things from Romo. I really like Pickett, man. I think Steelers got a guy.
Man, I feel like people love Pickett. I just feel like because the support got so just crazy before he ever produced it, I feel like it was turning people on him. And then when he came out and it wasn't like everything that you said it was going to be and like all the other people said it was going to be early on, that's when they was like, oh, heck no, y'all been hollering about this and this and this, and now we not getting that early on. I think that's why they reacted the way that they did, but it was because of the love that everybody gave this man, bro. The way y'all talked about him, you two, y'all said it like this man was going to come out here and be first ballot Hall of Fame perfection off his first throw. And unfortunately, that wasn't the case.
I just felt like we got a guy. I just felt like we had a guy.
Having a guy was not how you talked about it, though. You talk like, oh, y'all put that thing like, bro.
I was excited. That's what we started. I think we were all excited.
And that's what we said it was the upgrade. To like play with it, like, well, if he's that nice, he got to be upgraded over 7.
Nah, he's young still, but I believed in the Steelers' decision to get Pickett because he was the only quarterback on the board. And my big thing is I didn't know what to expect when Pickett came in. I felt like he could bring
it. Be good though.
He could bring a different dynamic over Mitch, and that was my main thing. I didn't think he was going to be the fell swoop all solution if he did come in, because there were other problems going on. O-line problems, Najee wasn't right, there were drops still. But I felt like because we were losing close games with Mitch, like maybe Pickett with this upside, this X factor we're hoping for, he can get us out of a stadium with like a final drive or like do something different in winning moments that it didn't feel like Mitch was delivering.
Yeah.
That's I think my opinion. But like I think Pickett's first couple, it's weird to say because I actually liked what Pickett was doing. It's just the results weren't there.
Right, yeah.
And everyone's looking at the picks. I'm like, for me, I like
Right.
how he's throwing the ball. I like how
Yeah.
he's slinging it down the field. He's going to
Right.
refine this because
Absolutely.
this isn't the Pickett I remember from his senior
Yeah.
year at Pitt.
Right.
The Pickett I remember, he threw for 40 touchdowns, had this
Yeah.
great touchdown interception ratio, and took care of the ball. So
Yeah.
just wait. That's going to come. I like that he's slinging it and showing some fearlessness here.
Another name that I've seen people bringing up, they said Najee.
Wow.
If that isn't,
Me and TJ.
I'm just like, I mean, the past couple weeks, every time we get on, I'm just like, dang, you don't like Najee and you don't like Najee. Oh,
That's not
you
true.
really don't like Najee? Oh, now you just kind of don't like
That's not
Najee.
true.
Oh, okay. Now you kind of like Najee. All right, I guess you like Najee this time. Like, that's what y'all was going on. I felt bad just being a part of it.
That's not true. I feel like
Najee was
that
one of the ones,
flew
man.
way more under the
Najee
radar.
was another one.
If we're talking big scale. I think the Najee talk was more our podcast.
You think it was? You think it flew under the radar? He was, bro. I saw Trey. Was it Trey Essex and all type of dudes? It got to the point where they were pulling up
really?
O-line cut-ups.
They were
to show
defending
that
the
it
O-line?
wasn't- Yes, the show wasn't an O-line thing. Remember that? That was earlier. It was like, nah, it ain't the O-line. They can't block. He ain't hitting the hole. I will not forget that, man. Come on, bro. They
Oh,
was
that
up
was true
thing.
though too.
They
Remember
was-
the one
it
pass
was,
Pickett
it
made
was,
to
it
Najee? Was it the Eagles game?
It was.
It's like, dude, you have a free 2 yards. Just run forward. Why
And
are
he
you
got tackled
shaking and
for a
going
loss,
backwards?
bro. It's like, yo, you should pick up 3. Worst case 5. You run this dude over. He lost y'all. You're like, how the heck this happened, bro?
You could even see it on Pickett's face after he
Yeah,
made
yeah,
the
it
decision
was crazy,
to
bro.
like try to juke him. Pickett was like,
It was like the freeze.
He, like, slumped his shoulder. He's
bro.
like, come on, bruh.
Yes. Najee was definitely getting some criticism too, though, bro. Oh,
Mitch low key deserves a spot here. I think
Mitch never got a chance, man.
I feel like the hate got out of control after that Ravens game.
It was insane
with the 3
bro.
picks.
It was insane.
Criticism was warranted. Don't throw the 3 picks.
It was insane at times,
But
bro.
to make it seem like, hey,
was
Mason
insane.
Rudolph's going to be the better option for this next
That
game
was
over
literally
Mitch.
that's what he went to. Like that's what the media tried to create. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The media tried to create it, but
Then the team followed suit
Well-
a little bit, sort of.
well, no. There was a whole big fan vote on. I can't remember what news site it was. WPXI maybe. They did a fan vote. Who do you want to start in this Panthers game? Mitch or Mason?
Yeah.
80% was Mason.
Yep.
Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Yeah. Craziness.
Like, Mitch
Yeah.
ain't that bad, man. Like,
But remember,
he was doing some sick things
they
in the Ravens
wanted-
game.
they-
It was just those 3 picks were terrible.
It wasn't just 3 picks. It was the fact that we drafted Kenny Pickett. That was the most important part to why
He was
Mitch-
getting some hater. I think he was getting some unwarranted hate early on, for sure.
Yeah, that was the big reason for Mitch, bro. If there's any other quarterback here, I think it's a different scenario for him. That was his, yeah.
What I will say, but I think I was right in saying, like, hey, we need more from Mitch. We
Yeah,
need,
at
we
that
need
time
like
we
we
did,
need like an
yeah.
X factor. You need to
Yeah.
step up when we really need to step up.
Yeah.
Whether it's a drive before half, one of the last drives in the fourth quarter. Like, we need something here. So
Literally, we
I
only
think
saw
Pickett
that.
can give us at least
Yeah.
what Mitch is doing, but maybe more.
Yeah, the only time we saw from Mitch was after the fact.
Yeah,
Bucks
he
game.
had nothing
and-
to lose.
Yeah, and like you said, but by then we had already moved on, man. The direction was already set that it was Kenny's team. So yeah,
So who's your vote for this?
I'm
I'm going Kenny still.
leaning Nash. I feel guilty. I feel guilty personally.
You're too close to it.
I feel
Is that what you
guilty,
mean?
bro. Yeah, I feel like I was like a part of it because like there were definitely some times where in my mind I was like,
You were entertaining some of my Snell start
because I was
comments.
like, I was gonna be honest and transparent here. There were some times when we've had these conversations surrounding Najee, where you and TG are y'all kind of ganging up, and I know I could stop it. But the research in me wouldn't allow it, and I would just say something to throw a little fire, little lighter on that
It
fire.
was the research, not
Yeah,
you.
it was the research. It wasn't me. It was the research. All right, we surfed the galaxy. I surfed it maybe one or too many times, and it just hit a little harder in those moments. You know, sometimes like a delayed hit on some of them. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it caught me, and yeah, that's why I'm blaming it on that. All right, so I felt guilty. So yeah, I'm gonna go Nash. I feel guilty, but Deontay definitely's in that conversation heavy too, though.
Yeah, he's top
definitely-
3.
He's
top 3 or
definitely
4.
I think we got the main names though. Kenny, Mitch, Naj, and Deontay. Yeah. Unless we're gonna go Canada. That's the only other option. But he said player.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because everybody else that was getting hated on was yeah. Because I was like, you know, we got other players that get hated on a little bit.
Dawson got the death threats.
That was
from a fan though. Are we saying it's got to be also media people?
My thing when I thought of him, I was like, was it warranted? Not the death threats, but the media getting on him every time that Kenny would get hurt. He was like the correlation. So I was like, I could understand when they would point to him. I could understand it.
Criticize him, but obviously the fans throwing the death threat,
that's too much.
Unnecessary.
That's too much.
There's no reason for that.
Dan Moore was another guy that came under criticism, but I was like, it's kind of warranted. It's a guy on defense as well.
I just don't think it was as big of a scale as any of those other guys we talked about.
Them other dudes, it was just like, it felt like polarizing at times, bro.
Yeah, because these conversations would last weeks and months, whereas for the guys that you're talking about, it's like this dude had a bad play this week, and then you just talk about it for a couple of days and move on.
Yeah.
I'd go Kenny. You're going Najee then?
I'm going Najee because I participated in it. I was in the car. I wasn't in the front seat. I was in the back seat, but I was in the car. All right, so I'm just,
A2A style. MVP is TJ because we saw what happened when he was out.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I would probably have him 2 or 3 between him and Pickett. The V and MVP. Didn't get healthy until late, but changed everything. TJ, the most valuable player on defense. 100.
I like it. That's fair. Absolutely.
Okay, next one.
All right. Oh, got upper room member here.
Yeah.
Shout out to the homie Brian Stevenson and welcome to the upper room. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And welcome to the family.
A2A style, most improved on offense. Matt Canada. Yeah, did he say that? We read one of those.
Yeah. But at the time,
I don't know if it was him that commented it.
Yeah, we definitely saw somebody say it. But I think we kind of was like, we were thinking more just players here. But yeah, he's definitely one of them dudes, man.
Sammy Buckets, offensive player of the year. Kenny, Depoy, Minka. Offensive most improved, Shooks. Defensive most improved, Spillane.
Okay.
Offensive breakout, Warren. Defensive breakout, Casey.
Let's go. I like that.
MVP, TJ, mother effing Watt.
Let's go. I like it. I like it a lot. Casey was hooping, bro. For me, I want a larger sample size. He just, he missed a lot of time, obviously, with the injury and stuff like that. But no, Casey definitely one of them dudes, man, that produced for us.
Richard Arbizo says TG driving the car, Deke in the shotgun with the window down, while Moats researching in the back seat.
Yep. I was back there. I was in the car, unfortunately, but I was researched up, all right? When I'm researching, y'all can't hold me accountable, man, all right? That's why when I come up here and talk, y'all can't be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, give me a break, man. Hey. It wasn't my fault. When they was talking about it and everybody was laughing, I started laughing a little too. Sorry. I might have thrown in a Benny Snell. I'm sorry. All right. But we like Benny. He's a fan of the show. He's a friend of the show. So it's like, shout out Benny. I'm sorry.
Phantom TV. Yeah. Pickett to Pickens equals the immaculate connection. I feel like it's going to gain some steam down the line.
No, without a doubt.
That's what they're saying with the immaculate reception. I watched, they had the Football Life on for specifically the immaculate reception, the play.
Yeah.
They did it because I know they did the Franco Harris Football Life, but apparently they made one like way back on the immaculate reception, just 1 hour show on that play. And apparently it didn't catch steam for a while, like years after. Someone said the immaculate reception. I can't remember if they called into a radio show or if it was just someone randomly said it on TV, and then it took a while to pick up. It was reset again on later broadcast, and then because sometimes they were just calling it the great play by Franco or like the great catch. Yeah, it took years, and finally the immaculate reception was the thing.
Okay.
So I'm thinking it might be the same thing with the immaculate connection. If Pickett and Pickens stay as a duo, and we win some championships, we could point back to that moment and be like, that was the immaculate connection.
Okay.
Because of the day it happened and everything. Yeah. That'd be cool.
I like it.
Sammy Buckets. Pissed we didn't get a return touchdown on special teams. Yeah.
We didn't this year.
We haven't in a while.
Since Deontay, right?
2019.
Yeah, because Ray was close. Steven was close. But yeah. Deontay was the last one to touch paint.
Ray should have had like 2 or 3 in that 2020 season.
Absolutely.
Phantom TV.
Bro, he was making some noise a little bit in San Fran too, man.
I did see that. Phantom TV. Tommy Eichenberg is the best inside linebacker in college football. We need him.
I'm going to look into him then. All right. because I know they were talking. That could be the kid from UNC. I'm not sure, but I know they were talking about an off-ball linebacker from UNC. And I did see. I forgot who it was. Somebody sent the email with their mocks in terms of like players to be looking out for already. I was like, y'all are early. I like the energy. Oh man, I wish I pull it up. I get to do the shout out. But he was like, yo, it's draft season now. So he had his list. I'm like, all right, we with you. So yeah, we will be getting into all those, man. Trust me on that. We just trying to, yeah. We still got some live action going on right now. So, you know.
I'll do all the mock drafts. I'll do as many mock drafts as you guys want. It's the off season for me.
Yeah, true. You know what I'm saying? We haven't all the way turned that page just yet. So we just going to ride it out to the end of the regular football playoff season for tomorrow, okay? So when that train ends, then I am all in, man. I'm drafted out with you, baby, yeah. But until then, there's still some action. So I was just going, you know.
What'd you think of the stadium pick?
Falcon
Stadium for the neutral AFC Championship
I
site.
don't hate it. I personally think it, you know, this is a unique situation. So somebody was going to get the short end of the stick regardless. I look at it like, man, if the Bills make it, then, hey, man, you live with it. It's the price of doing business. Cool. But obviously you want that game in Buffalo if you could have. But at the same time, you didn't earn it to be in Buffalo just yet. Because technically you didn't win that game against the Bengals. And because of the decision to not play the game again, this is what you have to kind of live with. And we get why they made the decision, but that's just a part of it, you know? So with that being the case, hey, at least you ain't got to worry about the weather.
Yeah, I think they said it's about equidistant from each. It's like 12 or 13 hours from each spot.
You don't have to worry about the weather. I said, you know, if you make it there, great. But you don't have to worry about the weather. But part of the thing is, you know, up in Buffalo, we kind of want you to have that weather. Even with the new stadium, you see. The new stadium, the mock-ups. Oh, yeah. As a fan, you're going to be covered up. You be nice. But oh, no, we want you to be cold now. We want you to have a little weather down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's how it should be in cold weather places. They're like doing that in Chicago. Did you see they're closing the place up in Chicago? That's stupid.
But literally, it's like it's open in the center, but like over the stands, like the seat part, that's where you're covered up from the elements. And even what they got it going on now, but they already have like heaters in the stadium.
Do Buffalo
too,
fans want that though?
No, they already have heated sections in Buffalo, where it's like literally the overhang of something over top of you has like the heaters up there for the people. And then for the ones that dead serious like just want to be in the elements, they're the ones that go the way down there. Yeah. So it's like you got options, and then you got like the ones that like turn up top. You know, so yeah. Depending on what you want to be.
But it's gonna be the new one's gonna be covering every fan in the stadium.
From what I saw, it kind of put me in the mind of
Cowboy Stadium, old Cowboy Stadium.
Yeah, like how they had like that, like Houston, Texas, they got one like that too now, where it's like you see the thing open up and it's like the majority of them would be covered up in that thing, but this is no retractable roof. It's
you can't close it.
Yeah, it's just no retract. From what I saw, it was no retractable roof on it. Yeah.
How do the Bears do that? They're renovating Soldier Field and they're closing it.
Yeah,
That's
you gotta
so
leave it open,
stupid.
bro. You gotta leave it open,
That's so stupid. Phantom TV. Yeah. Tremaine Edmonds, Tommy Eichenberg, Spillane, and Mark Robinson 2023. He doesn't have Miles Jack in the group.
I mean, because if you get in Tremaine, you're not gonna keep Miles.
Really? Oh.
Because the money, yeah.
I thought we were just gonna have both.
I mean, you know, I would but I don't think they're gonna invest. You think they invest that much over there?
I don't think it's the smartest move.
Yeah, I don't. That's what I'm saying.
I think that's too much for inside linebackers
I would
right
agree.
now in this day and age.
I would definitely agree. I'm
you
like,
can get away with
a
top tier guy and then like a medium tier guy, whether it's Mark Robinson or Spillane or whoever,
or the combination of both until somebody like completely like takes over it. Yeah, but I think that's kind of I don't see both of them being here under contract. Like if we're talking drafting a guy, like even the Tommy dude, if they're drafting him, then Miles, yeah. But I just don't think that they would, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
You draft a guy in the top 3 rounds or something, maybe they have a chance.
Yeah.
What Miles has in his favor is he's a year under his belt in Pittsburgh.
Mm-hmm.
What Tremaine has in his favor, if he wants to come to Pittsburgh, is his last name.
Yep. Double bloodline action here. But we didn't have both your brothers come through this locker room, baby. All right.
828 style. GP14 literally became Tony Toe Tap right before our eyes.
Ooh.
Yeah, the body control on the sidelines insane.
That's crazy. I'm just scared to call him Tony Toe Tap. I don't want to put anything.
He's GP. He doesn't even want to be called that.
Yeah,
he's called GP.
Because the AB, you seen how that kind of rubbed off. I don't, it ain't aged too well. You feel me? What's he up to right now? No, I don't even want to ask you that. I'm just going to keep going.
No 412. At camp, Jalen gave a kid his cleats without a problem.
Salute Jalen, man. Salute Jalen. Let's go.
A2S style breakout player on D, Montravius Adams.
Shout out to Montravius. I forgot all about. He definitely put together some positive stuff, man. Especially using him more so as the nose tackle as well. I thought that he did a good job. He was a lot more fundamentally sound, even though I personally feel like he still is a better 4-3 fit, which is why I like him a lot more in our nickel defense. But the way that our interior guys were playing with Larry Yoga and Joby and Cam Hayward, that was why we didn't get a ton of Montravius in the nickel. We got him more in base. They were using him in Tyson. So I definitely get that, man.
Damon Brown, do you think there is an inside linebacker in this draft that plays like Potsy, a.k.a. James Ferrier?
Bro, I ain't heard that in a minute. Shout out to
Highly
Potsy.
intelligent and productive as hell. Shout out Trina.
Yeah.
The reason I was thinking a combination of Tremaine Edmonds and Miles Jack is because traditionally Steelers defense is kind of like having two nice inside linebackers.
Yeah.
Ferrier and Foote, and then it became Ferrier and Timmons. And you started to get Tim and Shazier for a little bit.
Were any of them paid at the same time, though?
I don't know how that worked.
Because Timmons was paid, and Shea was just the first rounder.
Yeah. Same with Timmons and Ferrier probably too. Timmons was probably on his rookie deal.
Yeah.
Ferrier was on his way out.
No. Because that's the only thing.
That's
It's
a good
like,
point. And Foote wasn't, I wouldn't say Foote was on the level of Ferrier, but he was still a really good inside linebacker.
Foote was smart as heck, too. That was the thing. I
really
never got a
good.
chance to play with him, but obviously he coached me when I was in Arizona for a little while. Yeah. Because, you also have to think, too. We're also anticipating them extending Alex Highsmith. So it's like you're going to have Highsmith getting double-digit M's, TJ double-digit, Cam double-digit, or Larry Yogan Joby double-digit, right? You got Miles. What's Miles supposed to be getting?
It's like 8 or 9.
Yeah.
His cap hit, I think, is 11, though.
Yeah.
I think we bumped it back a little bit.
It's just a lot of money in that front seven. That's a lot of money. And that doesn't even count what you're going to do on the back end if you try to bring back other Edmonds. Or Casey. Then you got Sutton. Yeah. Edmonds going to be expensive, I think, bro.
Terrell or Tremaine? Tremaine, I checked his market value. It's going to be like
Tremaine.
11. So it'd be like the same as Jack.
Which is expensive for what we're talking about. That's expensive right now, man.
Yeah. What do you think about any of these guys in the draft, though? You see any James
I haven't
Ferrier
checked them out just yet.
type guys?
Yeah, I have not tapped into.
Maybe that's what you got to do whenever you check out the linebackers. Give your James Ferrier award. This guy reminds me most of.
So
James Ferrier.
y'all know I got you. I'm gonna really start tapping in on this draft. You know what I'm saying, after the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying. Because I felt like we a little busy up until there. You know, some might be traveling on these weekends. Deke, you know how that go. But you said Atlanta. How far is that? How far is Atlanta from Pittsburgh? Can we get a direct to Pittsburgh? Good. I thought that might sound somebody. All right. But as soon as football is over, I got you. I'm down. We're gonna make every list you need. Give you every evaluation you need. But it's just, do it for tomorrow.
A2A style. Team MVP. Minka Fitzpatrick. Honorable mention. Mike T. Deke and Moats.
Let's go. Well, we did help support the culture. The players feed off the energy.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. We do.
A2H style. Minka's closeout song should be the music to Warren G's Regulators.
Ooh, Regulators. Mount up. It was a cold.
That'd be pretty sick. That'd be pretty badass.
Boom.
No one has taken that song before?
Not that I could think of. Yeah. Not that I could think of. So, yeah.
That'd be pretty badass.
That could definitely work. That's a vibe, too.
Mason Nielsen. What y'all think's going to happen with Witherspoon? Probably gone.
Yeah. High cap hit. Easy dead money out.
Yeah.
Not a good look. And he was injured for a lot. Yeah, not a good look. Not a good look.
When he was on the field, it wasn't pretty.
Yeah. For me, yeah, it's not looking pretty. Now, who knows? Maybe they can come to some type of agreement that's been updated from the current contract. But based on his current contract, I don't think it's a high probability that he would be back on that particular deal next year, just based off of what we saw from him. Is he a good player? Yes. But the problem is the consistency. Like we talked about at times when we saw him earlier in the portion of the year, we got some bad memories where it's like, man, we saw Nelson Aguilar.
Yeah.
Like, that hurt.
I wasn't as mad about that one. That was just like a fluky thing, but then you saw Amari Cooper.
And then it happened again, and it was like, yo. And then we saw who else?
The Eagles game.
Yeah.
AJ Brown.
Yeah. And that was the last time we saw him. Yeah.
It was like 3 bad games in a row.
Yeah. And then it was...
Yeah, he was fine in the Bengals game.
Yeah. And it was the hammy. So, you know, based on when you're paying a guy what they were paying him, you just want more consistency out of that. And I also would include the fact that something that also hurts him is he's not homegrown. If he was drafted here and he's developed here, Cam Sutton type, I think you get away with a season like how he had, and you chalk it up to injuries and just a bad year, and you look full body of work. But because he doesn't have that luxury, and when we paid him, it was really based off of what he did, you know, in a 4 or 5 game sample size at the end of the last season, I just don't think that that's going to be enough cachet for them to say, hey, man, we believe that you're more of this 5 game sample size and not what we saw last year. Yeah, I don't see that scenario.
Here's a question for you.
Man.
Steelers Road Warrior, Moats, do your Bills want Edmonds back?
Yes, but they can't. I don't think they can afford him right now. They just paid Matt Milano up there. Another
Josh Allen's
linebacker.
contract.
Josh is in the heart of his deal. Diggs redid his deal a year ago to help out as well, but he also got a bump in his pay. So I personally, like, trust me, they would definitely want him.
They're just at that point of having Josh
Allen.
Allen.
This is the issue, yeah. This is the Josh issue, yeah. And it's like you still got a Tre'Davious White over there as well who's getting paid. You got your safeties, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer are paid. It's like you could only spend but so much once you have the quarterback. That's why when we talked yesterday about likes and dislikes for us, I said we got a cheap quarterback here, man. Like, having a quarterback on a rookie deal, it helps you a ton. Up until they prove that they are that elite tier that are worth the $100 million, and when they show that, well, this is kind of what you got to deal with. So I think for Buffalo, it's more so just, yeah, they would love Edmonds to stay there because Edmonds is a dope player, but it's the price of doing business. And I don't think that they would rather have an Edmonds if that meant that they wouldn't have an Allen. So, yeah, that's just kind of the dynamic with it. I mean, we saw that here in Pittsburgh at times. It's like, man, you would much rather have a 7 on your team and lose a Bud Dupree, lose a Javon Hargrave, then keep those guys but not have a 7. That's, you know, quarterbacks, this quarterback league. You either got one
we've had
or you
players,
don't have
Mike
one,
Wallace
man.
or Sanders.
Absolutely. You want that guy. Yeah. You would much rather want that guy and deal with, all right, man, we don't have enough pieces around it per se, but he's just a freak. If he's on, he's on. You'd much rather have it that way than the alternative, which is...
Especially, you could always develop someone in the draft.
Yes. Yeah, because the alternative is you got to be perfect in every element, and that quarterback can't turn the ball over. Niners, right? We talk about that phase. Can you win with it? Yes, but we know it is a lot more challenging that way versus if you had one of these little freaks, man, that just walk around with, you know, just these crazy arms that I don't know where they find these arms. I thought my arm was dope. My arm is nothing like that. Like, how do they do it? I don't know, Deke.
Come on, yeah. 22 and 30 are the best 1-2 since Le'Veon and D'Angelo.
Ooh.
I'd say that's fair.
Okay.
We didn't really have a 1-2 with Le'Veon, though. It was more like he got hurt and D'Angelo, now you're RB1.
That was the 1-2. Yeah. That was it.
Like, D'Angelo got barely any snaps when Le'Veon was good. Whereas Jalen's actually, he's getting like 10 snaps or 10 carries or 10 touches.
You know, I'm with you.
I think it's fair.
He said the best since. He didn't say they were better then. He said the best since.
Yeah, definitely the best since.
Yeah.
We thought maybe there's going to be something with James Conner and Jalen Samuels, but that definitely didn't come to be.
Yeah.
828 style. Claypool, now known as Maple Sugar. Bears love sweets.
Whoa. Yo, why are we doing that?
When Claypool was brought up, there were a lot of Claypool with soft comments in the chat.
That's
Claypool equals Charmin. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Why that happened? He's soft?
Yeah, they think he's soft. They don't know if he's got that dog in him.
We seen him in a street kick. Not a street brawl, but he had a kick in there.
Yeah.
He's got to come with something.
He's come up in big moments for us.
Yeah.
That Buccaneers game was nice.
He could block too.
Yeah.
God, yeah. Dang, man, they done put the sugar on that man. That just sound bad, bro. Maple shook. I was just like, bro, I could just yo. Oh man, y'all be wildin', bro.
I'll be interested to see how his career plays out. I wonder if his 2 years in Pittsburgh were his peak, or 2.5, or whatever. 2 years and 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I guess. 2.5 years. Jonathan Morgan, thanks for the content you've been putting out postseason. The rest of the Pitt sports media have only been molding over Canada and bashing Tomlin. You two have kept my spirits up and are actually reviewing the whole team. We try.
We appreciate you, man. We just want to give you some variety, baby. That's it. Some detail, you know.
I'm just trying to spit facts.
Yeah, man. I'm just trying to come up here and have a good time. I research and just come up here and talk to Deke. That's all I do. All right? That's all I do. And watch film. And try not to get in trouble with dinner. That's it. You know? It's simple life. Yeah.
Trust me, I don't want to be defending Canada.
Yes, he does. Deke low-key got a Canadian flag tattoo on his back. It's like right under his shoulder blade, the right side. Mm-hmm.
But I can't deny what I saw. The offense was good.
That's what he said when he was getting the tattoo. He was like, I can't deny it. Just had it. Yep. That's what he did.
Yeah, underneath the flag is a jet sweep play art.
A little arrow pointed for the wide receiver. Emphasis on the handoff. I like it.
A2A style. My other most improved is Dotson. Not trying to be funny, but after he got that death threat, the penalties came down for him. Even 65 got better.
No, I would agree with that. And the thing is, both of them dudes did improve throughout the year. It was just when we talk about the right side, it just seemed like they were just more consistent and just throughout the season we looked at them in a higher light, so to speak. But no, man, Dotson's still a good player. Don't get it twisted. Like I like Dotson, man. Obviously, like we've had him on the show, like he's cool. And my thing is, I'm not against sticking with them either. And I know I said it earlier about bringing competition in. When I think of the competition, I talk about Dotson versus competition I went for Dan Moore. Very different. Dan Moore, when I think competition, I want either a second round guy, first round guy, or a nice quality free agent for him to legitimately have to show that he is better than that guy. When I think of Kevin Dotson, the competition for him, I'm like, man, I'm thinking 4th round, 5th round. I'm thinking, a mid-tier free agent signing, nothing that is egregious in terms of the cost, but something where it's like, this is a good player, but not necessarily a great player, but just a good player, quality player. I think of that type of version for Dotson competition because I do think Dotson is good enough and more than capable enough to be a starter in this league. I just think at times he needs to feel like somebody's over his shoulder. And when we talk about competition, I'm a guy that has been on both sides of that. The guy that has been the guy trying to get that spot and the guy that has had that spot trying to keep a guy off of him. Some players do well in those scenarios. Others, they fall in those scenarios. But the one thing I will say is this, man. When you create pressure situations and competition, you're going to find out who your dogs are. You're going to find out who can do it and who can't do it. And that's the thing with Dotson. I just think that he is capable of it. I just think that he just has to keep that foot on the pedal and feel that urgency. Whereas when I think of Dan Moore, he has shown flashes and he's shown that he can be a player at this league or at this level. I just need to know if it's starting left tackle or if he's one of those guys that is like a rotational player, an extra offensive lineman type, where it's like, hey, in a bind, could he come over here and get you out of a couple of games starting? Yes. But do you want him as the long-term answer? That's what we're trying to figure out. And that's why I would want to bring in just some higher end competition to see, can you elevate your play and make it consistent enough that you are the starting left tackle for the Steelers going forward? Or is it a scenario where one of these guys, whether it's in free agency or in the draft, he's just a better player, a more consistent player? And that's still not a negative because now I feel like I bolstered my depth. When we talk about Kevin Dotson and we said his backup was Kendrick Green, we didn't feel good about the depth there. If we're saying, hey, our starting left tackle is this guy, but our backup is Dan Moore, we feel a lot more confident just based on what we've seen from him in these 2 seasons. So that's kind of how I think of, the competition with those dudes and specifically with Dotson as well, man.
Sure.
Shout out to Dotson, though, man.
Wagwan Mutes.
Hey, there he is. He in the building. He's in the building. Wagwan.
Claypool got himself traded last year in Minnesota.
Nah, I told. The
Well,
Minnesota game, bro.
And he says, Andy's too big to be so soft.
Lord,
Minka's song is Mad Lion. Shoot to kill.
Okay.
Moats, send me an autographed jersey and Deke an autographed White Claw.
There it is.
That's pretty funny.
For the culture. salute you, baby. But man, Claypool isn't soft. Y'all know how I feel. Claypool's not soft. I just think that at times
He needs to be more aggressive.
Yes, he could definitely be more aggressive and he just has some moments, man. He just has some moments, bro. But he's not soft though, man. Claypool, he's still one of them dudes, man. Hopefully the change of scenery does help him out though, man. In all seriousness, because at this level, man, we know, like, I don't know if we all know, but I personally know it is not easy to stay at this level, to have long careers, man, make a lot of money and just, live a good life after this thing. So I do hope that he is able to get that thing rolling in the right direction, man, because yeah, we know how quickly it happens. Like we just saw here. 2 years ago, he's supposed to be the answer, the savior. Everything's supposed to be great.
Yeah, we kind of thought of
And
him
3
like we're
years
thinking
later,
of Pickens.
yeah,
not
now-
as crazy, but we saw how good he was his rookie year. It's like, oh shit, we might have a franchise receiver.
But you see how quickly it happens. 2.5 years, man. It happens fast, bro. We have already moved on it, and we feel great about the direction that we're in as well. Not even on some, oh man, we shouldn't have done that. Oh man, we jumped the gun. It's like, nah, we celebrating it. Like, so I'm really hopeful that he can at least get that locked in, man, and just have success at any place. Like we see in Juju, it's like, yo, it's dope to see Juju have success, man. Like you want to have these dudes at least, like I said, sustain this stuff, man.
Yeah, it worked for both sides.
Yeah,
The
absolutely,
Juju one.
man.
And then, we'll see what happens with
Yeah.
Claypool. We'll see who we could draft. Almost like the Justin Jefferson Diggs trade.
Yeah,
Worked for
absolutely.
both sides.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like our chances, though.
I know.
I think it's going to work out a little better for us in this scenario.
I know.
Juju, he's with Mahomes.
I know.
Claypool's in Chicago.
I know.
Like-
I know.
Hate to say.
That's why I just left it alone. I'm just like, you know what? Just hope it works out there or somewhere else, because it might need to be another stop. That's all I'm saying. But you got to be careful when you get to that third stop before you get to 4 years. It's like, bruh, when your years and your team start adding up to the same, it's not a good look. Just remember that.
Garcia Boxing versus the world. Congrats on another great season.
Nah, man, we appreciate you, man. And appreciate all of y'all, man, that been rocking with us, man, because we know there's plenty of people that put out content, man, whether you're talking radio, podcast, YouTube. Plenty of people put content out, man, but the fact that y'all still rock with us and the fact that y'all don't even wait till we chop it up and repost it. It's like, nah, y'all here for the live element of it, for the interactions, man. Like, it is really dope. So, nah, salute you as well, man.
How much time you got?
Man, you know we got time, man. Is it ready? Are we around the league yet? Can we go to around the league?
Sure, or do we got to do picks first? Like, what's the bigger priority?
So listen,
Okay.
this how we finna do this, all right? We're going around the league. It's 6:22. Around the league for 10 minutes to 6:32. Sound good?
Yeah.
Then after that, 10 more minutes mad dash that thing with the stack of papers. All right?
Sure.
All right. So y'all like this vid just in case wifey don't like me for doing what we just did right there. All right.
The easiest around the league.
Let's do it, man. Start what you want to start with, man. Don't think on
I
it.
mean,
Just
this
start
might
with
take
it.
up the whole 10 minutes,
Let's
but
do
it's
it
a good
then.
one.
If it's dope, bro.
Rank the playoff QBs.
Dude, let's cook. All right. Let's see. How many I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Do you want me to say my list, and then you can go off it?
Actually, I'm going to have to start writing my joint down. It's more names than I thought. All right.
There are 16.
Yeah. I
No, 14. I'm sorry.
14. I was in my mind. I'm like, because are we counting the buys?
Yeah,
You counting the buys too? Okay.
yeah. Don't include Lamar. And yeah, same thing with Tua. No Tua, so have Skylar Thompson. No Lamar, so Tyler Huntley over him, and then everyone else, status quo.
So what? You had Philly with the bye and Kansas. All right. Okay. All right.
This is
Jeez.
you, personal preference. Who do you want?
Oh, all right.
One game, do or die. Who do you trust the most?
All right. I'm numbering my thing real quick. Give me 1 second. All right.
Drop them in the chat too.
Dang.
If 14's too much, drop your like top
Let's
5
go.
or whatever.
Let's go. All right, let me think. Who's the worst quarterback in this thing right now?
Skylar Thompson.
I was low key like
I got
it has to
Thompson.
be him, right?
Last. It's not even
Okay.
a question.
Okay.
And then I got
All right.
Huntley 14.
Yeah,
or,
that's
13.
he's a Pro Bowler though, man. Chill out.
No, he's not.
He's the alternate of the alternate.
He ain't making it.
He an alternate of an alternate of an alternate, man. Just
He
let
ain't
him
making
live a little bit, all right? Let him live. All right, hold on. All right. Alrighty. I'm gonna get my list popping real quick, man.
You sure you don't want me just to list it
No. You go ahead. You start listing yours off.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna get it popping though.
I have Skylar Thompson last. Well, hold on. I almost have to renumber mine because I have a tie, and that could throw everything off. Okay, hold on now. Let me get this right. 14, 13.
Ooh, let's get it.
Okay,
Let's get it.
I'm good. I figured this out. At 14, Thompson. 13, Huntley. Tied for 11th. Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott.
Why you trying my dude like that, bro? You like to play games. It's all good.
Tied for 11th.
You like to play games. It's cool. It's
This
cool.
is my personal.
It's cool.
Who do I trust going into these playoffs? 10, Danny Dimes.
Okay.
9,
Mm-hmm.
Geno Smith.
Okay, so you really play. Okay.
I'm not playing. What do you mean?
Okay. All right. It's cool. It's cool, man.
I'm not playing at all.
It's cool.
At 8, Brock Purdy.
Okay.
I've seen enough from him. I trust him going into these playoffs. I feel like he's going to deliver. The moment ain't too big for him.
It is, huh?
At 7, Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
He won that chip with Clemson.
Jesus.
I have no doubt. It's going to be a tough game, him versus Herbert, but I don't think it's going to be because of him that they lose. At number, I believe this is 6. 6, 5, 4, 3. Yep. Number 6, Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
At number 5, Justin Herbert. At number 4, Joe Burrow. At 3, your boy, Josh Allen.
You said 3?
At 3.
All right. I can live with that.
At 2,
I can live with that.
I still got Brady up there.
I need to hear who you say because you got
One's
2
Mahomes.
names left. Okay.
I got one Mahomes.
Fair enough there. Fair enough.
I got one Mahomes. Yeah, Mahomes, he's been on, I can't even say different level this year. He's been on his typical Mahomes level, and he's already got a ring. Like,
he still threw for 5,000, and that was without Tyreek in them. Like,
I know.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, he's going to win MVP.
Mm-hmm.
And he's already got a ring. We know what he can do in big moments.
Yeah.
We know, I mean, he does his signature final minute drives, 13 seconds. Sorry, I didn't want to say it, but 13 seconds.
I appreciate you reminding me. It means a lot, actually.
It
Thank you.
just helps my case to have
Thank you.
Mahomes at 1. But, Mahomes is sick. Literally, I mean, I look at my list. My top 2 are guys that have won rings. No one else has won rings.
This is accurate. I feel like hold on. I'm missing somebody.
Brady's going to turn it on for the playoffs. TG wasn't lying. Would anyone be surprised if they beat the Cowboys?
No, absolutely not.
But that's my list. I think it's a pretty damn good list.
I like your list a lot, actually.
Even the Kirk Cousins at Dak, tied for 11.
I didn't like that part.
I don't know which one to pick.
Why did you tie them, though? That's what threw me off a little bit, the tie. Yeah.
The tied. I don't know which one
The
I
tie
trust
threw me
more or
off
less.
a little bit, man.
I really don't.
Okay. All right.
You got yours ready?
Give me 1 second.
I probably should have texted you and said, "Hey,
But
maybe we could do a playoff QB list."
but I like you catching me off guard, though, baby.
This is all on the spot.
No, I like
This is all initial reaction.
Because this is what I want. My initial reaction. All right. So let me make sure I got all my names up here.
I could read a couple in the chat while you're waiting.
Yeah, you do that while I'm making sure I got mine all the way up. All right.
This one's interesting. NSMC99 goes, he's got Allen 1.
Okay.
He's got Mahomes 2, Burrow 3, Hurts 4, Brady 5.
Okay.
He says dead last, Huntley. Thompson's dead last. There's no way.
Huntley's a Pro Bowler, man. Y'all got to put some respect on his name.
I mean, I'm not going to argue that one. If you want Huntley last over Thompson, whatever. Damon Brown, 1 Mahomes, 2 Burrow.
Hey, yo.
3 Allen, 4 Purdy. 5 Herbert. Damon Brown is a Purdy guy. He's got Purdy over Herbert. He's got Purdy over Brady, too.
Say, all right. I think I got my list, but I feel like I'm missing somebody still. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it.
I don't think you are.
Let me make sure I ain't tripping, man.
There's
Hold
14 names. Who could you be missing?
That's what I'm saying, right? I'm not tripping then. Okay, I'm not tripping. All right. Well, here we go then. Here we go.
Just list them all. Like,
No.
I'll look at my list.
I got somebody. I feel like I have somebody on my list twice. Give me a second.
You got 15.
That's what I'm saying. Something's not adding up. That's what I'm like. Who do I have that's not up here? That's
You
supposed
got
to.
one that's named Daniel.
No, I know who that is. Giants. Daniel Jones.
Yeah, but then you have another one that says Jones right above it.
That's what I rewrote it twice.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
what it is.
Okay, perfect. I was like, I was like, what am I doing over here? I was like, I'm off on something. There we go. All right. So, I guess because you want me, I was doing it on the fly, man. Hey. You know what I'm saying? I was looking through all these teams, going through all these names, making my list, checking it twice. Now I got film playing in the background. I don't want that film playing right now. All right. I'm back. Here we go. All right. My top quarterbacks for this postseason. At number 14 on my list, Skylar Thompson. You're an NFL player. I respect you. But, yeah, not versus these guys right now. At number 13 on my list, the Pro Bowler, Tyler Huntley. I like what I've seen, man. When he's not throwing the ball, problem is in the postseason, you have to throw the ball. So, good luck with that one. At number 12, I'm going Brock Purdy. Y'all can say what you want. I know he's hot right now, and that's cool. His team is amazing. His coaching staff is amazing. They're doing everything they can to make sure that he plays the game the right way. And he is doing a good job. Don't get it twisted. He is. But we talking about who I want to put my postseason life on, like who I want my postseason in their hands. If it's the Niners, yes. But if it was Purdy and we're just talking Purdy, no, I'm not with that.
So, yeah, that's why I don't have Purdy higher. But I do trust him to deliver. I'm
doing
sorry.
Some good stuff. No, and it's not. Trust me, you're not wrong. He's been doing some good stuff. This is just how I view it.
Yeah, because if you're going Niners, you'd probably just have the Niners as a whole.
I like the Niners. Right. The same way,
particularly being in the NFC.
Right. The same way when Baltimore's been winning, have any of us been thinking Baltimore's going to win because of Huntley? No. We say Baltimore's winning because Baltimore's a good team, but not because of Huntley. And I think Purdy is a good player, but the way that he is talked about at times based on this little sample size, it's like you would think he's Joe Montana out there.
Official momentum has Purdy won.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was a time. It was a time when people had Duck at number 1 too. Just remember that. Just remember that. Oh, okay.
Dude.
Oh, now it's dude. Now it's dude.
We see.
Now it's dude. Now it's dude. No. Now it's dude.
No, we see from Purdy.
What did you say? What did you say?
In
fact, weren't you one of the ones that were on the Duck versus Josh Allen? You say he was going.
I thought Duck was going to outplay him in that game. I never talked about who I'd rather have long term. I thought Duck was going to outplay Josh Allen in that game. And you know what?
So
Josh Allen didn't have his best game. It's just Duck had a god-awful game.
So that is why Brock Purdy is at 12 on my list. Okay. At number 11, I got to go with Danny Dimes or Daniel Jones or Danny Jones, however we wanted to put it up. I had him up here twice. That's why I was tripping. Shout out to Deke for his amazing view of picking up on that right there. Good. I don't all the way trust him. I believe a lot in Brian Dable because you know where he came from. You know what I'm saying? You seen how we do. Oh, and Ken Dorsey about to be the next one too. Don't worry about that. They just trying to take all the little OCs from Buffalo. That's what happens when you got a Josh Allen. I get it. But Daniel Jones is at number 11. At number 10, they wrote him off. But he ain't right back though. Got to be Geno. I trust Geno in the postseason. I done seen Geno put together some drives late. I done seen him have some little moments this year. I believe him more than I believe Brock. All right. So that's why I got Geno up there. At number 9, my top 10 quarterback, Mr. Quarterback. Mr. Chains on that man. Mr. Kirko. You know I got to have Kirk Cousins in that thing at number 9. As long as these games are at 1 o'clock or 4 o'clock, I'm straight. But the problem is, as the postseason continues, these games get later. That's where the issue lies.
Come on, dude. Stick with your guy.
I'm sticking with him. He's 4:30 this week. If they got the early game next week, I like him there too. But when it gets to the NFC Championship game, and that game is at 8:15, I already know what I'm getting. I don't like that. So that's why I have him at number 9 on my list. Number 8, Trevor Lawrence. Young, but dude can throw the rock, man. Still growing still, getting more consistent, and still just learning how to play this game consistently at the NFL level. But the talent is definitely there. He did some stuff. I think it was that Baltimore game, if I remember correctly. At the end, man, put together a couple of just crazy drive throws, and it's like, yeah, I believe him. And I was a fan of his work at Clemson. So that's why I have Trevor at 8. At 7, he plays for America's team. And I like his Jordan cleat collection. So shout out to Dak Prescott. He is number 7 on my list. If he's not turning the ball over, I believe in him a lot. But at times he can turn that ball over. I'm nervous about him. He's my outlier.
You might need to drop him down a little bit.
He's the one for me where it's like he can either be all the way over here or all the way over here. He scares me. That's why I have him at 7. At number 6, I went Justin Herbert. Dude's crazy, freaky, talented, man. I like his game a lot. I just hope that, they can make a little run at this thing. Otherwise, I think they're going to switch up some of that stuff over there too, man, coaching-wise. Then after that, man, I got Brady at 5 because it's Brady. We know he can get hot at any time, and this is what he lives for. I just feel like I'm giving him the respect he deserves, being in my top 5 of the postseason. It just has had its moments at times this season.
His line sucks.
Fair enough. We could whatever we want to say. All I'm saying is it's had its moments. So that's why I had him at 5. Then at number 4. This guy line sucks too at times. Joe Burrow, though, man, because Joe Cool is Joe Cool. He got the big boy cigar and the Cartiers and the fur coat. Just know what time he is on, and Jamar Chase is back. The hit feels good. So, look out. Then at number 3, I went Jalen Hurts. I like his game a lot. I really do.
Over Burrow?
I do.
Damn.
I like his game a lot, bro.
I like Hurts too, but damn.
He was on an MVP trajectory as well, was he not? Did he not put together an MVP type season this year? Did he not?
I'm not disagreeing with any of that. It's just
how
one game in the playoffs, I'll take Burrow.
All right, fair. And trust me, if it wasn't for how crazy his season was, I'm with you.
He's a little banged up.
The shoulder does have me having a little bit of pause.
Eagles as a whole,
but they have what? They have
bit.
time though. They don't have to come out there this week. They got time. So with that, I look at how complete their team is. They can win in the trenches, and in the postseason, you have to be able to win in the trenches. We get enamored with points being scored, throwing the ball, but the teams that can be more physical in the line of scrimmage are the teams that win, and that is what the Philadelphia Eagles do. They got that offense, and they definitely got it on defense. Turns the way they can rotate through those guys. And granted, them losing, Gardner Johnson and it's another dude in the secondary that went down as well. That does hurt. But I just feel like the pass rush, and you still have some other talent on that back end, that they're going to be all right. And, yeah, man, they can run the ball. So that's why I like Hurts, man. I think that he's going to be all right. This is his year. This is his year to be ahead of Burrow.
That's what my buddy's telling me.
That's what I'm saying. This is his year to be ahead of Burrow.
That's what my buddy was trying to tell me.
All right. But then after that, it's pretty simple. I would love for this gentleman to be number 1 on my list, but unfortunately, the last 2 times we've seen them, or he's seen this other gentleman in the postseason specifically, he hasn't been able to cross that bridge just yet. We've done it regular season.
Don't undersell what Josh Allen did, though.
No, it was freaky last year. Come on, bro. Last year, he did his absolute
That's why I have him over
thing.
Burrow.
He did his
if
absolute
Allen didn't
thing.
do that, I'd have Burrow over Allen.
Josh did his absolute thing, but that's why I have him at number 2, because I've actually seen Mahomes conquer the AFC Championship. I've actually seen Mahomes conquer the Super Bowl. I haven't seen it with Josh yet. Now, trust me, Josh not being in the AFC Championship game last year was by nothing that he did. But that's also, once again, it's like that wasn't even the AFC Championship game.
Yeah.
So it's like it was an amazing performance.
How are you going to do in the Super Bowl?
But it wasn't even the AFC Championship, right?
Yeah.
So I at least have seen Mahomes multiple times in the Super Bowl. And he still did what he needed to do. One with his full gamut. He was Super Bowl MVP. The other, he was out there making crazy throws, running for his life, and still was showing what he is capable of. So that's why Mahomes is my number 1, but Allen is definitely at number 2, and he's knocking. So let's go, Josh. Doing it for DeMar, man. You can get behind that. Come on, man. It's for DeMar.
I can't do it.
It's for DeMar. You got me, man. Come on, man.
Can't do it. I guess your big one's the Hurts Burrow thing.
Yeah.
Me, in terms of like hot takey or like something that's glaring, I mean Purdy at
Yeah.
what do I have him at 8?
Yeah.
8 or 9?
You got Purdy in front of Dak and Kirk.
Yeah.
That
I
is
have Dak
like
and Kirk
insane.
tied at 11th. I'm
Yeah.
trying to figure out if I can move one of them up or down, but I just can't. I just got them in the same spot.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott. That's
Yeah.
kind of how I feel about both.
Yeah.
I'd probably lean a little bit Dak over Kirk. I'd probably go, if I had to say, Kirk probably at 12 and then Dak 11.
Fair enough.
That's a bad call, though. That's a bad call. I'd probably have Dak over Daniel Jones.
For sure.
That's a bad call.
I like it though.
Maybe updated
I
list.
I like my list, man.
Should I just stick with what I got?
I'm gonna have to do it week to week, man.
Daniel Jones. How much do we trust him?
I don't trust him that much, but I trust him a little bit.
Should I trust him over Dak Prescott?
I don't.
I guess that's what.
I don't
Hey,
trust
listen.
him that much. Yeah.
You did your initial reaction
Yeah.
list. I got to stick with what I got here.
Yeah.
That's literally what I got. I do. I got Daniel Jones over Kirk Cousins and Dak Prescott. We'll see if it plays out that way.
Fair enough.
That's my initial take. What are we doing here? We could do picks over the phone or whatever.
All right, well, let's do picks over the phone then, man. All right,
so you ain't getting in trouble.
Yeah, man.
We don't even know if I'm still alive right now.
Yeah. So we got time. Yeah, we'll do the picks over the phone. Yeah.
We got a couple super chats.
Let's tap into those real quick. Yeah.
Is it antimatter, Eli? There might be one before that.
Mike Hood, I got him. Mike Hood says, shout out Deke and Moats. Missed the show and have to watch the replay. Let's go. The replay just as dope as the live, though. Don't trip, baby. Don't trip. All right, so we appreciate you. Well, actually, the live is a little bit dope because obviously we could like talk to you. But other than that, though, still just dope. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Hit that like button while you're over there.
Antimatter Eli says Minka's song is Gatekeeper, Omen 13. I don't know what that is.
I'm not either. I'm about to check it out, though.
Yo Young.
It's probably something dope, though.
He's got his top 5 QBs.
Top five.
Mahomes at 1, Burrow 2, Allen 3, Hurts 4, and then 5 Herbert.
So why you got Burrow over Allen, man? I need to know. How you got Joe Burrow?
I can understand it, but
nah, I can't. How you understand that? How you understand that?
I think Allen's that good, so
How you
I'm not
understand
going to
that,
do
man?
that. But it's close. I mean, there's a case
it's
that
close?
they'd be tied for 3
What?
in my book.
It's close?
I'd have Mahomes, Brady, and then Allen Burrow tied for 3.
You said it's close?
It is, yeah.
Bro, stop this, man. Stop this.
Burrow's damn good.
Yeah, he could be that. He ain't Josh, though.
Listen, Josh showed me some stuff last year, so I got him at 3. We're splitting hairs. Those are two.
We are not splitting
two of the
hairs.
franchise quarterbacks in the league right now.
We are not splitting hairs. It is Joe. Then you take another step.
So you got Hurts over Burrow. I
That
thought you were a Burrow guy too. That's a crazy take. To me.
In all seriousness, though, my issue is this: because Hurts had an MVP caliber season, I just feel like
you want to give him some props.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, because Joe Burrow balled, but Joe Burrow wasn't playing MVP caliber football early on. He was turning the ball over early on. Right. That was a part of the issue with him early on. Part of that was from him not playing during the preseason and training camp when he had the surgery as well. But he was struggling early on. And then it got going. Whereas Jalen put together a dope season start to finish, man.
We're talking one game, though, tomorrow. We talking now.
But if it's one game, I like that Eagles team with Hurts versus that Bengals team with Joe right now. If we're talking for this season, I would take a one game with Hurts and that Eagles team. I would. Sure. Even if it was head-to-head.
You're saying Eagles with their line, their weapons.
Yeah, with Hurts.
They could set Hurts up for success, and he ain't going to shit the bed.
Correct. And he got an A.J. Brown
Burrow,
out there.
He might have to improvise. He might have to go
He's going to do a lot more. He has to go above me. Like, I feel like Hurts, his floor will just be higher in the game, but I think his ceiling will be limited. Whereas Burrow, his ceiling is infinite. Like, he can go off. But at the same time, you could also... You can get after him. Like, he might turn that ball over because he's doing too much. But that's what I'm saying for this year. Now, after this year, if Hurts don't do what he's supposed to do in the postseason, man, I ain't going to do it again now. But that's kind of like what I thought of. Yeah, it was off the top of my head, man. It was quick. I ain't having no time to really think. It wasn't like you gave me a name bank and I was over here like, all right, let me think, move this piece back. I was over here trying to figure out why I had 15 names instead of 14 names. Never realized that I wrote Jones Daniel up there for 11 and then 12. Lets you know he sucks twice in my book.
Yeah, you were
Okay?
too concerned with the bottom of
Yeah.
your list. Well, that's it. Yo Young has one more. He says Burrow is the style of QB I like.
Oh, okay. I respect that. He's definitely more of like the pro style pocket, whereas Josh get me back. But Josh reminds me of 7. And I think that's why I'm like such a fan of Josh, because of just how I felt about 7. Like, dude's crazy. Like, watching it and then being around it, practicing against it, playing on the same team as in any stadium is just like, yo, that's freaky. So it's like, that's the type of quarterback that I prefer. That one where it's like, nah, it ain't got to be perfect. That's why I like Mahomes too. It's like, I ain't got to be perfect. Like that boy just, when he start holding that ball like this, because like Mahomes, he's like talented, but he's more like Rodgers to me. When I think of Ben and Josh, like, man, their mannerisms, the way they'll both hold that ball one hand, mush this dude, I'm going to jump over here, I'm going to do this, then I'm going to rocket it. That's crazy. And as a defender, you hate dealing with that type of stuff. But that's also why I guess I'm a fan of both of them. So, yeah.
Well, that's it.
But I can respect it though, yo, Young. So shout out to you, man. All righty. But yeah, with that being said, Deke, you all right. I believe that is it.
I told you the list would probably just take up the whole thing.
But that was
I think it was worthwhile
fire.
to do.
It was definitely
Either
worthwhile.
that or we could talk about Derek Carr
It was
saying bye
definitely
to Raiders
worthwhile.
fans.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. It was definitely worthwhile though. So with that being said, shout out to each and every one of y'all. This is the final show of the week. We'll be back in the saddle next week. Stay tuned for the day. Could be Monday, might be Tuesday. All right, stay tuned. But either way, you know we appreciate the heck out of each and every one of y'all. Y'all stay safe out there. If you're in Buffalo, holla. But either way, until next time, baby.
Peace.